Hey, this is Chase Sexton. You're listening to the MotoXpod show.
What's up, you guys? Jeremy McGrath here. You are listening to MotoXpod show.
Welcome back. It's the Vital MX MotoXpod show presented by Yamaha Motor USA and Race Tech. Man, what a weekend of racing we had. The Monster Energy Supercross points lead is tied after Foxborough between Cooper Webb and Jet Lawrence. Prado wins again in MXGP. Stu Baylor wins the inaugural GNCC at the Old Gray in Monterey, Tennessee. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with everything, but a hell of a good weekend in two-wheeled racing all over the world. Let's see here. What do we got to talk about first? Lots going on. We have some great guests. We've got Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha's Haiden Deegan coming on. We have Rockstar Husqvarna's RJ Hampshire. Team PRMX Kawasaki's Mitchell Harrison. So it's going to be a lot of fun tonight in studio. As always, running the cameras, talking to the guys in YouTube chat, making sure everything's working halfway smooth. Scotty Thompson, what's up, Scotty?
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, big show tonight. Big race this weekend.
Dude,
and yeah,
I never thought we'd get Mitchell Harrison on again. It's freaking amazing. It's great. Star of the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
the blank look on his face.
Yeah. I can't wait to ask him about the incident with Barsha. Have you guys seen that? Nobody even knows what I'm talking about. Man, all right. No social media for these guys. Well, anyway, I'm excited to talk to all three of these guys, but there's going to be some fun stuff with Mitchell Harrison. We've got some really great questions from the Vital MX forum for all these guys. I just got a text from another rider in the industry for Haiden Deegan. So this should be a really interesting conversation.
Yep.
With lots to talk about, but also in studio, hopefully for the whole show, mobile mechanic, TJ Smith.
What's going on? I guess I technically have a job now since I'm just working for myself.
If you're in the East Texas area,
Greater East Texas area,
and you break down, who are you going to call?
TJ Smith.
Well, I mean, how do they get a hold of you? How do they find you?
Plug it up, dude.
Yeah, plug it up. You can do is just Google Radwood Restoration Mobile Mechanic.
Radwood, all one word?
Radwood, one word, or just type in mobile mechanic in Google.
Not morning wood. Radwood.
Yes, Radwood.
Jack it off.
All right, yeah, easy there. Press conference.
All right, well, that's great. Good that you're working. Hopefully you won't get called out in the middle of the show because, I mean, I know you need to make money, but we need to have a show. Our listeners need your input.
Only reason why I would leave is if it's, somebody's stranded on the side of the highway or something.
Well, if you leave, then I'm stuck with Scotty.
Well, then you'll get stranded.
And I'm stuck with Darkside, so it's a lose-lose for everybody.
True, fair enough. All right, so a bunch of stuff to get into. Let's start with our presenting sponsor in the Race Tech Open Discussion. And Race Tech is the world's largest aftermarket motorcycle suspension modification company. They have over 35 years of experience providing factory-level suspension to the everyday rider. For nearly 40 years, Race Tech has been supplying the motorcycle industry with high-quality suspension components made right here in the USA. From modern to vintage, Race Tech is your go-to source for suspension performance. Racetech.com, lots of information there. You can find your local service center. You can go to the track, meet your local service tech, get your stuff serviced. Maybe you want it resprung. Race Tech can help you out. Modern to vintage, pretty much anything you ride, the guys know what to do. Help them out, or go use them. They'll help you out. Support the MotoXpod show. Okay, Race Tech Open Discussion. TJ, Scotty, let's start with what I mentioned. Points are back tied. I didn't see this coming.
No.
I really kind of, and especially you, TJ, you're like, Jet's going to go. He's going to win.
Still going
to win.
But yes.
But it's tied. He's had a couple little issues over the last couple weeks. Cooper is pretty resilient and just like he never really lets up.
It's crazy.
I don't know. I'm not as confident I'm not saying, okay, Cooper's going to win. But I think I'm less confident Jet's going to win the championship than I was. And not just because the points are tied, but because I know how Cooper Webb is mentally and what he can do. And I can definitely see him playing some games and being aggressive. And there could be a shift, TJ. We have to at least talk about it.
Yeah, there could be. I mean, you look at that, the dominant speed, I definitely think he's there, but I mean, it's been brought up before. It's a long season. First time through the 450 Supercross season and against so many competitors that just don't think Jet's as awesome as like some of us do, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I guarantee you.
Say that again. Who? There's so many who that don't think he's as awesome.
Competitors.
You think his competitors? You're saying you feel like some of his competition don't think he's as good as he is, or,
right?
Huh.
Like,
I don't know if I agree.
Let me say this. They all know he's good, but I think his competitors are more along the lines of, I can beat him. There's. I think in the 250 class, and some of those guys he's racing against, and during those times, they were like,
yeah, I can't.
I just can't. But when you're dealing with, Tomac, when you're dealing with Webb, when you're dealing with Sexton, and just go on the list that these guys are like, yeah, he's good. He did really good. He's really fast, but just things get right, I will beat him. I can beat him. I know I can. Those guys mentally, don't give up.
Well, I do believe, Scotty, part of what he's saying, that all of the top, let's say top 6 or guys, 5, 6 guys, and I disagree with the 250 class because I think also in the 250 class, the top 5 or 6 always believe they could beat him because I don't think that guys at that level will allow themselves to go, I can't beat this guy.
Yeah, but I think TJ is kind of more talking about you're down in your heart of hearts. Obviously, you're going to go in there and I'm going to do my darndest to get him.
My darndest.
But so this season to me it's kind of been, as surprising it is that Cooper has tied the championship. In a way, you can kind of look back and see that makes sense because to me, this season has seemed like every round it's been like, all right, so this is Jet's chance to beat this person. It's always been like there's one guy that excels in that environment, or maybe that was just his day. Mm-hmm. And he's had some crazy battles with Roxon, with Tomac, with Sexton, with Anderson, and even Plessinger when he was having his best times. So it's kind of been he's had to go through all these giants, and the whole season Cooper Webb has been the one that's always just kind of been right there. He's ran second and in that 3 to 4 second range more this season than anybody else behind Jet. So he's kind of just hung in there, and now some opportunities went his way. And so
he's got a couple wins.
In a way, if you can look at it and say, it really isn't that surprising that he's in this position, and having him go into next weekend with both of them having the red plates, man, I wouldn't want to race Cooper. I wouldn't want to, obviously Jet has a little bit of speed on him, but it's got to be, if you don't think Jet's thinking about that this week and Cooper's kind of sitting there just rubbing his hands together, it's going to come down to
Cooper's
cool.
ornery, and we may have some moisture this weekend. It's right now when I looked, it was 46% chance of rain Friday, 16 Saturday. They've been doing a really good job of keeping the track in good conditions, but we could have some adverse conditions. Who knows? But also, TJ, Sexton's only 15 down, and he was down by more than this last year. Wins the championship, and I know where you are because the last couple of weeks you're basically stuck. Jet's going to win the championship. But if the roles were reversed, and I'm stealing this question from our guy Lewis Phillips from last night when he was on Pulp. He said if the roles were reversed, if Jet was 15 down and Chase and Cooper were tied, would you be more willing to say, oh yeah, Jet can still win than Chase can still win 15 down?
Based on this season,
I was asking TJ, but
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, no one cares what you have to say.
Go ahead.
What did we do with his crotale? We lost it. Okay. No, but I think you're right. That's a good point. If you're...
Well, you got to give credit to Lewis. He's good with that stuff.
That's a really good point that he came up with because I think even I would be like, maybe, I don't know if he could catch up because when you have those guys up there like that, but I do think Jet may have a better chance of catching up than what I feel like. Oh, what's it?
Chase?
Chase. I think if it was just Chase and Webb, I would be more confident that Webb would win.
But what about coming from 15 down? Are you more confident Jet could come from 15 down than Chase?
That's what I'm saying. I am. But and then I guess I'm answering a question you didn't ask. Also, was I think I would give Webb more chances of winning if Jet was 15 down.
Scotty?
Oh, I can talk now?
Yeah, you can talk now.
Okay.
I just addressed him. That's all.
Well, I got confused with the chat and stuff.
All right, next question.
I think that.
Holy crap.
I think that based on this season alone, having Chase 15 points down I think that would make more sense, or no, less sense than if Jet was 15. I think Jet would have a better chance. Based off of the Chase as overall, then I would say, like from the way his speed was last year, then I would say that I would be more think he could do it more.
Yeah, so I think.
But the Chase this year, I think Jet has a better chance.
I think Chase is. We're seeing Chase better and better every week. This Chase was really, really good, and probably should have won this weekend. The track conditions didn't really allow them to push really, really extra hard. So he struggled to get around Ken. Took too long to get around Ken, but I think he was faster than Coop. And he was faster than Kenny, and probably should have won. And that may be the point over the next 4 more, right?
Yeah.
Chase is going to be coming on. Chase is probably going to get another win, maybe 2. I don't know, but I am not counting Chase out. I'm not. I mean, right now I'm going to go Cooper Webb for the championship.
Really,
that's where I'm at right now. But I am a little bit of a, even though I'm supposed to be, I'm a little bit of a fanboy for Coop a little bit.
Well, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Coop. And I like the dog in him, as they say, And
I'm with you.
But I do think this is going to be a really tight points battle going into Salt Lake City. I don't think it's going to look like it does right now. I think it's going to be all three of them are going to have a chance at the final round.
My favorite rider is my son, who struggles to even make a night show. So that doesn't mean that I'm going to put him to think for him to make a win.
There's a big difference.
No, what I'm getting at is I, as far as a fan, I'm a bigger fan of Webb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
that might be weighing in a little bit on my thoughts. But
for me, it doesn't weigh. It doesn't change the fact that I think that Jet will win this championship.
Okay. Showdown.
Yeah.
That's going to be really exciting. Our EVS top 3, our picks for the win this weekend are going to be for the 250 class, just because I thought we mixed it up since it's a showdown.
Oh, thanks for telling us that ahead of time.
I mean, it's not that hard to figure out, man. Just think about it a little bit. But do you think the showdown throws a major monkey wrench in either coast? Do you see something? Just obviously we're just predicting. Do you see a big point swing on either coast because of something that may happen in the showdown?
I think that some of the guys out that ride the West Coast may get worse results because of the different dirt and the travel out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we don't have a showdown out west.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense, but yeah, you're right.
No, what I'm getting at is I think the guys on the West Coast will be getting some of the guys that would be normally in the top 5 are going to be struggling.
Not that many of them though, because they're all on the East Coast anyway. Like Levi's is on the East Coast, McAdoo I think is out west, but really.
No, I'm saying guys on the West Coast,
if
they were just racing their coast, who would normally be top 5 guys, are going to be struggling to be in the top 10.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't see that.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm not talking about the leaders. I'm talking about the guys, the guys, fighting for,
I'm excited about the showdown, though.
It's
again, I wish it was a Triple Crown showdown, but.
Yeah, hopefully, coming soon to a theater
ask
near you
Haiden
kind of thing. But
RJ what they think about that. But. What are your thoughts on showdown? What do you see anything, or is it just going to be it's kind of what we expected?
I think it's it has the potential to it really just depends on who gets the start. I mean, if one of the title guys, because it seems that obviously everybody's keeping an eye on Deegan being he got the win and starting momentum, and we'll get to talk to him tonight. So. I think a lot of people have expectations of him to kind of be up there in that, and so if McAdoo has a bad race, or for the other coast, if Kitchen has a bad race and RJ has a good one, I mean, it really just depends on the I hate to say start cross, but it really just depends on how it shapes out and who gets. They're going to be going bar to bar, so those guys are going to be wanting to prove something. It kind of depends on how the race just folds out. So I'm definitely excited. I think it gives more excitement to want to watch it because the potential of anything can happen.
Because normally at this point in time, the 450 class is not sharing a red plate.
You could, it could be one of those races like you said where it's oh yeah, I kind of expected that, but you never know.
Yeah, I would because you're going to have some guys.
Who's your favorite? I guess.
Yeah, we need to say that for the
Yeah,
EVS picks,
fair
but
enough.
I feel like there might be a couple surprises. Guys that have better races than they've been having that kind of sneak up in there. Well, I mean, I don't know, like maybe a Thrasher gets a win.
Yeah.
Which he's won this year or
And,
whatever.
and
But
we're kind of already talking Vial out. What if he gets a start and gets a win? And it's kind of a muddy conditions, which it could be. And then all of a sudden he's back in the points lead. So
or Max Anstey could easily slide in there and get a win. So
who do you guys feel has the most to prove in this showdown?
Kitchen.
Yeah, either Kitchen or Haiden probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, the front runners for each coast.
I would agree with both of those.
Yeah.
Daxton Bennett maybe wins.
And can I just? It's kind of on the showdown deal, so I'll bring it up now. If we didn't have the split coast, we wouldn't have these showdowns to look forward to. I am a big fan of the coast being split still.
Are you?
You have people talk about one big series, but this adds an element every year of multiple East-West shootouts.
I want it to be the. Of course, I'm going to want the age group, the age question, but I want it to be I want it to be every ages. I want it to be
Steve Mathis.
Yes.
The way
like
he came up with that time.
a 17 to 24 and a 24 and up, something like that.
I think a listener said that.
Well, yeah, but he was the one that kept kind of talking about because you're right. A listener did submit that.
I'm 100% on that wagon.
All right. A reputation for dominance, Yamaha Motor USA. It doesn't happen overnight. It's built over decades. The YZ story is 50 years of iconic machines and groundbreaking innovations. Yamaha's new 50th anniversary edition YZs pay tribute to a half-century of championship-winning performance wrapped in stunning retro style. Check them out at YamahaMotorsports.com. TJ, you and I did some riding this weekend at 6 Feet Under, and I'm starting to get pretty comfy on my YZ on my retro edition.
You look
with
really
the
good
retro
on the bike.
Decal Works graphics. Not a sponsor of the show, but still. Yeah, I was feeling good. I mean, finally, as I'm spending more time on the bike, I've been racing a little bit. It's starting to come back around.
You probably put close to an hour on your bike easily.
I did 320s, so yeah.
Yeah, easily.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 320s and felt pretty good. And unfortunately, my Polar, I didn't hit the start button on my
No
watch.
proof.
So I have no proof on the last 20. And actually, I think it was a little over 20 because I did 7
I
laps.
watched it. It was about 4 minutes.
Okay. All right. What a D
Prove
hole.
it.
What a D hole. Okay. So let's jump back into Foxborough just for a minute. Supercross Futures. Drew Adams wins again, but I want to talk about former guest on the show, Luke Fowler, running third. Cole Davies, a little faster.
Yeah.
Catching him, makes a pass. Luke just tees him up, man. Luke did I like Luke. He's a cool kid, but I felt like he was riding a little over his head when Cole passed him.
A little upset about it.
But no, I don't know that he was upset other than just not wanting to be passed. I don't
Yeah.
think he was mad, but he ran it in and teed him up, and I instantly sent the shocked emoji to DB.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey man, my kids are beasts or whatever." He said, they're animals. They're going for it. And I'm here for it. So Daniel wasn't upset at the slightest, but Luke Fowler, man, getting a little feisty. I liked it. Anything stand out to you? Let's go to you first, Scotty, so you don't get sad. Anything?
No, go to TJ first. I don't care.
All right, TJ, anything with
Gavin's
the features?
struggling.
Yeah, a little surprising. Gavin Towers.
I mean, the track was weird with the slick and then the tacky, then the soft. Maybe that's what it was, but but
they all were on the same track.
No, I'm saying he may have struggled with the track.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm just saying, I was kind of bummed.
We'll have his teammate on a little bit. Maybe he'll have some thoughts.
I was expecting a little more out of Gavin. I mean, Drew is like 7 foot tall. Maybe that helped. I don't know, but he's
is he tall?
Oh, Drew is super tall, and he's riding really good. So
yeah,
there was so many on the fantasy chat and different chats like about. Because he's a ginger and it's like another ginger with no soul. It's like, oh God, here we go.
Yep.
Dude, there's enough data out there to make that correlation. It's just like how many redheads have we had? Like the percentage of redheads that have won championships has got to be up there.
Okay, real quick before we move to the next topic, because we're running low on time.
We do have one secret topic, but we can save it for
yours,
later.
right?
We can save
That's
it for
probably
later.
what we're going to go to, but I want to get. He hasn't really said what he thought about the futures in general.
I think it was cool. I do kind of.
I like the futures being on the program. I like it.
Yeah, I kind of zone out.
Do you?
Yeah, a little bit.
You don't really like dirt bikes either. So
yeah, that's true. But no, Drew Adams is impressive. I think that he's going to make a splash. I don't know what his forecast looks like, what races he's going to be doing. It seems like they all kind of have their own little strategies that they do. So
see after Loretta's what I don't know that he knows yet.
Yeah,
I mean, we did
it has been a while. Even Haiden didn't do this. It would be kind of cool to see someone go and just like completely like sweep Loretta's. Like that hasn't happened in a few years. I don't feel like so.
I plan on doing it when I get there this year.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, good luck with
I'm
that.
gonna take a broom and sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and TJ will go with you, and we'll just run a cable through everybody's tires.
Hey, I did actually come up. I told Hal at the area. I came up with a plan. I know how to qualify for sure.
All right.
I'm gonna have my mechanic go out and prep every gate in front of the gate except for mine, so they all get disqualified.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's genius.
Thank you.
Just bring
Like,
20
dude, yeah,
people with you.
Yeah.
Just bring 20 people with you, and everybody they just all go out there, start prepping in front of people.
Dude, you're like semi-famous. You could find enough people to help you do that.
Dude, that's genius.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's dastardly. Okay.
All right. Well, let's move on with the high point. That's the end of the show.
Yeah.
I do want to remind everybody that Vital MX does have a fantasy game on the vitalmx.com website. There is a MotoXpod Show League. This week's winner was the Dominator. He won a Race Tech rear shock rebuild. Guys, get involved with that if you want. We'd love to have you sign up and play. It's a lot of fun. It's free. So vitalmx.com, click on the fantasy tab at the top and sign up and play. If you're already playing, jump in the MotoXpod Show League. MotoXpodShow@gmail.com is our email if you want to get involved with anything within the show, the segments, any questions, comments, etc. You want to get involved with the Troll Training Top 5, the EVS picks for the next race, etc., etc. MotoXpodShow@gmail.com. Next Tuesday night, as of right now, Veronica, my girlfriend, will be here in Texas. I'm going to try to get her to come sit in studio at the end of the show. So if you, especially like our YouTube viewers, have questions, I would rather them email them to motoxpodshow@gmail.com. As long as they're not just absolutely ridiculous.
I love
and as long as she agrees.
Absolutely the ridiculous ones.
As long as she agrees to sit in here, maybe
people
can ask.
It's like
some
asking
questions.
like the sun not to rise.
Yeah, that's
tomorrow.
fine.
Like,
Whatever. Send whatever you want. I can't guarantee she'll answer. How about that?
Key for effort after dark version
Yeah.
questions.
So motoxpodshow@gmail.com. But yeah, Veronica, I mean,
you should
at this point, it doesn't matter.
You
I think
should set up
everybody
to call Chris or I can't think of Heather, Chris or Heather's to be on.
get them
the call.
on. Maybe we'll do
Maybe
that.
just for a minute or so.
There was talk of doing a coffee with the Kiefers with her when I'm out there next.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, we'll do our thing here next week. She will be here. Can't promise she's going to come on camera, but I think she will. Okay, let's get to your topic. We've got about 7 minutes before we got
Perfect. It won't take long. So most of our people guests. Our viewers know that you're going to have your girl next weekend at the races. She's going to fly out here. You're going to take her there, which means that you had to pull some strings to get her media passes.
I haven't got her one yet, actually.
And so, but you're working at getting her media passes so she can go into all the media stuff with you. And she's not media, but he wants to really try to be media and do media stuff, and you won't even halfway
He doesn't
try to
go to
help.
any races.
He would go if he could get media stuff, he said.
Are you going to drive to Nashville this weekend and get a hotel and all that?
Well, I mean, if you planned it.
If you
I don't know that she's
not
gonna
on
get
Wednesday.
one.
I'm
right,
not.
as of right now, she's going to hang out with Mackenzie, one of my friends, and her husband.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like you're trying to pull strings to get her media passes, right or wrong?
Just trying to get her a wristband, yes.
But I'm talking about media where she can go everywhere you go.
They have a wristband they will give sometimes.
Yeah,
or like Pookie gets one or whatever, so yes.
But you're not trying to pull to tell, and he wants to. He's been begging.
All he has to do is tell
Every
me he's
show.
going to go to a race, and then I can ask for one.
Oh, well, so
I don't know about all this begging talk, but
I mean,
That was your topic?
I was just trying to throw you under the bus. Yeah.
Man, that didn't take up very much time.
You had me on your team, and then you tried to throw me under the bus and saying I was begging to go and stuff. So now I don't know where I stand.
Did you ever think that we were on the same team?
Apparently.
Okay.
I made it.
Well, that didn't go very far.
Fool me once.
So how
wait,
about
hold on.
this?
Do I?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize you were talking. Sorry.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
How'd you shut out?
Yeah. Now I don't even know what I was going to say.
Oh my God, this is the second time tonight.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Never mind. He doesn't need media passes.
Yeah. I just go up to to like Haiden or something.
how old
I forgot
are
what
you?
I was gonna say. How old are you?
All right, moving on.
I was thinking about this because I raced the qualifier the other weekend, and then like this weekend is the Vet Nationals at Johnsonville. Next weekend's Billadilla Moto Masters and Costa Racing.
Next weekend?
Yeah, I believe so.
He just got excited.
Yeah, as far as I know, we're racing at Billadilla next weekend.
I probably am going to be actually down for that.
Not Nashville weekend in a couple days. The
week-
following weekend. This
I'm
weekend.
doing, I'm doing TCCRA this weekend. So
Oh, you're gonna miss that big Vet National at Johnsonville? Wow, it's big. Like a lot of money, like a couple
it's
$100.
vintage racing.
No, it's like a big Vet National with like payback and like they're trying to make it like Glen Helen Vet Nationals.
Oh.
They're trying to build this big.
Well, I don't have any business out there.
Okay. Anyway,
I can't afford it.
cost of racing. I actually saw a thread on the Vital Next forum about this, like what can promoters do? We've talked about this in the past, but it is getting a little out of hand.
Oh, for real.
I wish I had thought about this early enough to get like Cole Johnson on or whatever, because it is very expensive to own property, run a facility, run the equipment, have the equipment, et cetera. But it's also very expensive as just an individual to go pay $20 to get in the gate, $45 per entry for 10 laps of racing and a couple laps of practice. That's
Right.
So aside from number one, lowering prices, but what are some things that you feel like promoters could do to entice riders to show up more often? Like, okay, I'm okay, $20 to get in the gate. I make $20 a vehicle, not per person, maybe.
Yep.
$45 gate fee, but maybe if you pay for two classes, you get a class free for your kid. I don't know.
That was something they used to do pretty regularly.
Okay.
Was they would allow you your what's the word I'm looking for? Your like second entry was half price sometimes.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. Yeah, sure.
That was the thing they did.
Or the first one's $40 and everyone after that's $20
yeah,
or something.
exactly.
Do you think that would help, or even like less classes, more laps?
I don't know if people want more laps. It seems like everybody says they want more laps, and then when you race 6 laps, everybody hates it. Now the night race is a little different.
We're all out of shape.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm looking here. The price of diesel 10 years ago.
Okay.
How much do you think it was?
10 years ago, $2.25.
$3.80.
Okay.
So they talk about the price of diesel going up, and that's why they do stuff. But the prices haven't gone up that much, in the grand scheme of things. But as far as giving people more, I think that would be helpful. Burleson used to do that. You would come in, it was $20 a carload. You had 10 people in your car, you had 2 people in your car, it was $20 a carload. Mm-hmm. That's nice because it lets spectators come in.
Yeah, I kind of don't feel. I almost feel like if you're racing, maybe you don't pay a gate fee, but if you're just coming to spectate, you do pay a gate fee. I don't know how you regulate all that.
You'd have to have sign up.
It's just a lot of money. It probably costs you $100 in fuel to get to the track. Another $100 to race if you're only racing 1 or 2 classes. A couple $100 for
5-gallon can of T4.
Not everybody runs race fuel, so let's just take that out. Just the entry fee, just to get there and actually sign up to race. You could be $150, $200 in, and then you do a total all day of 15 laps, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I'm going to the woods and going to ride for almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
and pay a quarter of that.
And I was talking to Kiefer today about that. Like that's why everybody's doing these off road. That's why off road is so big. Whether it be Works on the West Coast or Hare and Hound or GNCC. Because
when is that? Where is that?
Just like south Oklahoma. It's about like 2 hours and 40 minutes away.
It's Saturday, you could just
Saturday. I think it's like 15 bucks for a vehicle and like 15 bucks for a bike, something like that. So you like 25, 30 bucks, you can ride all day.
See, that's good.
Sun up. They started at 9 to sundown. So
I wonder how long the laps are.
Usually like 9-10 miles.
I could bring my e-bike for that.
Yeah, and charge it in between. That'd be sweet.
Swap batteries.
Yeah. So like my thing is with a big race like that, it would be cool to do, but I'm not in race shape right now, and it's just that's gnarly to go race with those guys. Yeah,
the cost of amateur racing, and our next guest, his family knows all about this, is getting a little out of hand. But we'll talk about that some more later. FXR is designed by racers for racers. With industry-leading fit, finish, and performance, progression is the name of the game with every new piece created. At FXR, we push our brand to the next level to provide you with the best products possible. Used by the Muck-Off FXR Club MX Yamaha team, Mike Brown, Brock Tickle, Chris Kiefer, Benny Bloss, and many more. FXR has core motor roots, so visit fxrracing.com or go to your local dealership and see the complete 2024 lineup. Tonight, FXR brings us from Star Racing Yamaha, Haiden Deegan. What's up, Haiden?
What's up, guys?
Not much, man. Glad to have you back on. It's been a little bit since we've talked to you. You've kind of been radio silence on some podcasts.
Yeah, I know. I don't do podcasts much because we just usually plug everything through our YouTube channel. But, yeah, sometimes we'll hop on a pod.
Well, I appreciate you jumping on here. It means a lot to us. I know the listeners love it. How you feeling about your season so far? I think you're about 13 down on McAdoo with a few races to go. How do you feel about your performance in your season so far?
Yeah, it's been a lot of highs and lows from the start of the season to now. Obviously, it's not where I want to be with only 2 wins out of all these races we've done so far. But, I mean, stuff happens. So, I mean, we still have a shot at it. We just got to keep fighting, and we got a few rounds left. Anything can happen. But so far, I mean, where we're at right now, I'm happy with. But where we were, it's a little unfortunate.
Yeah, and you had a little bit of a setback earlier in the season, but I want to know how you compare your riding and what you're taking away from this season compared to last year. Do you feel like you've advanced in your skill set and just your Supercross presence over last year? Do you know where do you feel you're at compared to last year?
Yeah, I mean, definitely speed-wise and just overall mentality of, like, knowing I can win compared to, like, going out there and just learning has changed a lot. Like, last year I'd line up just no pressure, just go out there and do your best. And I feel like this year now it's, you know, I want to win. Like, I want to win all these races. That's my goal. So obviously now there's like some pressure to do that, but I feed off of that. It's all good energy.
Nice.
So you're in the middle of quite a, I guess, tight battle, working to get wins and win champions and championships. But you've been doing that basically your whole life. Have you ever, or do you ever like worry about during this time as you get deep into a season, kind of starting to get burned out, especially knowing that outdoors is coming? And then when you do, or if you do, what is your getaway? Like, are you playing video games? You going fishing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, winning and stuff like this is always, I've kind of been natural to me since amateur, so it's nothing like where I get like nerves from that type of stuff. Like, when I get into the lead, it's like a natural place for me. Like, I enjoy being in the lead. It's like, it's a lot better for me. But yeah, besides, I mean, shoot, when we're during race season, there's not much you really want to do. Like, I go ride my BMX bike, but since I got injured before the season, I haven't really been able to do that. Like, it's been kind of just catering to my injury during the weeks off. But right now, we're pretty much 100%. So, you know, I ride my BMX bike, definitely play a lot of video games. Me and my teammates and some of my buddies usually grind that out. 'Cause, I mean, it's not really after a long day of training, you kind of just want to chill back and recover. So that's kind of what we do, hop on some video games.
Yeah, Hayden, going back to the race this weekend, you know, Darkside mentioned working on your skills and how you feel your Supercross presence. I feel this was the first race where you rode like Haiden Deegan. And when McAdoo got into second, I really thought that he was going to kind of, based on what we've seen this season, close the gap. And you not only maintained it, but grew it. It seemed like you kind of got into another level once McAdoo got in second. Well, take us through the racecraft of that and just how that felt to be able to pull away.
I mean, yeah, definitely. This is the first kind of like the race since I've been pretty much 90 to 100% on my health wise. Pulled the whole shot. And honestly, when I was in the lead the first lap, I was like the first few laps I was sprinting and I seen McAdoo got in a second. I really didn't know if he was going to catch me or not because I haven't really battled with him. So I was like, is he going to catch me? Am I going to pull away? And then I realized that I was pulling away and then I was able to open the gap and just manage it from there. It wasn't like any type of panic situation. Could do the whole race pretty much at 85%, and that was perfect for me to make no mistakes. And that's kind of what I trained for. The goal is to do races at 85 to 90%, so you're doing perfect laps and smooth. And that's also what I worked on when I went up to Claremont and rode with some other guys and just focused on myself, just those perfect laps, bettering the technique, and just limiting mistakes.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a question from a listener in the live chat. Austin Justin wants to know what the difference is between last year's bike and this year, comparing the two bikes. We know it has a new frame and some new stuff. how much different do you feel in the bikes from the 2 years?
Yeah, last year's bike compared to this year's bike, I was really comfortable on last year's bike. Like being 100% honest, I got it dialed in. We won a championship on the bike, won outdoor motos, outdoor races. I was comfortable, and I was a little nervous for the switch. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to expect, and then got on the bike, and it was good right off the bat. Like I was able to put some work in on it, suspension, and I got it to where I needed it quick. It wasn't like no surprise, and honestly, it felt pretty much the same once I got it all dialed in. Maybe this bike turns down a little better, but that's kind of what we were honestly looking for, is for the bike to turn down a little better. So we kind of, it's honestly a little better. So if we can just keep dialing it in, well, it's a top tier bike.
And Austin had one more question. He has asked, your average qualifying is 8th, and curious about how do you keep turning that into fast laps in the night show and having dominant wins like that?
Yeah, I honestly don't know what's wrong with my qualifying. I literally go out, I don't know. I go out there and I lay down a lap. I'm like, oh, that's a heater. That has to be P1. I'm not even on the board. I'm like, what? and then I go and race and I run the fastest lap of the night in the 250 class. Like it doesn't add up to me, if I'm being honest. And I've just accepted that I'm not a qualifying guy. Trust me, I do sprints at the farm. I do sprints where I train. I try to get my sprint lap better for qualifying, and just ultimately I'm a race guy. I mean, I grew up amateur racing. You race. You don't qualify like how you do in the pros. It's just specifically racing, and that's just kind of all I know, is to get out there, and when it's time to go and race and be the fastest guy. And I think it's a good thing. I see some guys like can only qualify, and then in the race they struggle, and I'm kind of glad that I got the more of a qualifying bug than I can go out there in the race and send it.
Yeah, for sure. That's you rather win races than win qualifying. I get that.
Yeah.
How does this win compare to your win at Arlington? Arlington was a Triple Crown. Does it feel any different?
Arlington was not a Triple Crown.
No, it wasn't. No, you're right.
Oh, God, you never know anything, man. Dude. This is a big moment for me. He always gives me crap for not knowing stuff. So yeah, we're happy over here.
Go ahead, Haiden.
Yeah, that race, the Arlington win, that one was, that was obviously a special one to me. It's my first ever win, and you only get one of those once. So there's a reason why, I celebrated that way and stuff, because you only get one win. And definitely what happened to Austin stuff it's super sad. I feel like that was a good race for me compared to where I started the season, not having any preseason, really, literally no preseason pretty much. One round under my belt, got taken out, didn't really get a race. And then that round I was on Austin, from the start until he went down. So I felt like with no preseason and not much prep, to be hanging with Austin was a big accomplishment for me right off the bat like that. And then obviously I knew from there I was going to keep growing. The speed was going to get better, the fitness. And yeah, so far the season's been up and down, but now I'm to a point where everything's pretty dialed in and got that win. And it just felt complete to me, like whole shot and a win. And that's where I felt like my goals are and what I've trained for, and it just feels good. Nice.
At this point in the season, it becomes a grind. The training becomes a grind. You recently went down to Moto Sandbox, did some laps with Ken Roxon, Kitchen's down there, different, just a little bit different environment. How did that come about, and was the team okay with it?
Yeah, so basically I just wanted to go down there and kind of just work on technique stuff. At the farm, it's a lot of intensity, right? We don't really, it's kind of moto, sprint, race mode. And I feel like at some point I was just like, I need to work on myself for a little bit and just like better my technique and try and get faster with better technique instead of just so many mistakes. And yeah, I just went down to Claremont and did my own motos. Did a couple motos with Kenny, which was super cool. He's obviously one of the best guys with technique, and just seeing that type of stuff, and then just also working on my own stuff that we can go over on our own was nice as well. And I just feel like down the long road, it's going to better me.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think a change of environment every once in a while, freshen things up, keeps it fresh in general. Yeah. Sticking with that topic, we have a couple Vital MX forum questions for you on that. Two people, Dog Lover 136 and Sandberm 656, wanted to know, what did you learn from Kenny? What could you take away? What did you take away? Did you guys talk and give me advice?
Yeah, me and Kenny talked. He's a super rad dude. Like, I've never really talked to him, and he was just like, came over, talked, outgoing, and it honestly made me a lot bigger fan of Kenny. I was like, damn, this dude's actually pretty cool. Like, he just, walked over, cruised over, talked to me, came over and watched me after he was done. I was like, this dude's actually sweet. So it made me a fan for sure.
Nice.
And just watching Kenny, though, he's just such a fluent rider, rolling the turns. I mean, that's the clearest thing. I've struggled sometimes just smashing my turns a little bit. And to watch him and see how he rolls the turns is a big helper to me just in general in racing and stuff. So learned a lot from him.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about is the fact that you had you had the Mac and Deegs thing where you rode with Tomac and you rode with Roczen, and I think that's awesome that you're working with these guys that have established themselves and set precedents for speed and training and being champions. Who did you learn the most more from, and when you're watching them, who kind of made your jaw drop more?
Yeah, I mean, I rode with Tomac for the Mac and Deegs video. I stayed out there for, I think, it was 2 weeks and trained with Tomac, and that was, a dream come true riding with those guys. That's like straight legend status to ride with those guys at his own compound. And Tomac's an animal on a dirt bike. Just to watch him at the practice track, just straight bulldog, it was super sweet. And just talking to Tomac, it's like you're talking to Eli Tomac, like dudes you look up to. And that was, just awesome. It just brings excitement to you. And then I went down and rode with Kenny, and that's just dudes you watched and just grew up watching. And it's just it's almost just a dream to meet those guys in general. And then you just talking to them like a normal person and riding with them is just, it's awesome.
Yeah. You talk about your, how do you say it? The pinnacle of the sports, the top guys, the most known, the most famous, stuff like that. Your dad was kind of like a polarizing. People loved him or hated him. I don't think anybody was in the middle back in the day, especially during the Metal Militia when he played that part really well to promote his business and did a really good job with that. Do you see do you ever notice if that affects you or the fan interactions you have?
Yeah, obviously my dad back then came from nothing, small town. Just he found a niche and found a way to make it in racing and in freestyle. He found a way to make money, and to this day still talked about, which is huge in this sport. And even though it wasn't obviously the persona, it wasn't that great, he still found a way to be known, make money, and support his kids in general. He's been giving me a great life and always been there for me. And just to be that type of dad is awesome.
Yeah, I watched your YouTube video today where he went down the sandbox and was hitting the whoops. When you watch him hit whoops compared to how you hit whoops, do you just laugh?
Yeah, it's funny. I have never seen my dad ride a supercross track. That's something I've never seen. And I don't know why he doesn't. He knows how to ride a dirt bike. I don't know why he doesn't go out there for a few laps. He just never does. And then, you see him try that. It's
Hayden,
funny.
because we're older and we don't heal. We don't heal the way you do. It hurts.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah, I promise you, that's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a couple more questions for you, and we're going to have some more listener questions in a minute. But the showdown's coming up this weekend. I want to get your thoughts on the showdown, and I have this wish over the last couple of years. There's 3 showdowns, so 3 Triple Crown. So one coast gets 2, one gets 1. I would like to see a Triple Crown showdown. I want to get your thoughts on that and just showdowns as a whole.
Yeah, I'm excited for the showdown. It's me. Obviously the rivals right now, they're putting us together, me and Kitchen, because we're coming off the wins. But in general, it's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. The goal, is always to win, especially where I'm at right now, 13 points down. It's go out there and try to do my best and be in front of the guys in my point series. But definitely I'm excited, man. It's going to be cool. It's going to be hands down a battle till the death for sure. But dude, a Triple Crown showdown, that would be sick, because you're pitting all the best 250 guys in 3 short races, intensity. I think it'd be a good idea for next year. And also maybe getting some more indoor stadiums would be nice for next year too.
Yeah, that's been a big topic this year. There's just not that many available, honestly, in the country in general. And I know they would like to do that, but it's definitely a logistics thing. I got one more question on racing in general. There's a possibility in 25 of MXGP coming over and having a combined MXGP and motocross national? Would that be something that would excite you? Would it be kind of cool to race guys like Kyle Wolf and Lagenfelder and all those guys?
Yeah, it's always cool to watch those guys. I watch some MXGP. I'm not super huge on watching it, but I do every here and there. And Vial came over. He was the 2-time champ, and I beat him in outdoors and battled him in outdoors and stuff. And we're also battling the Supercross series right now. So for those guys to come over and we all race, it would be cool. It'd be cool to see where everyone's stacked up and see how we come together.
Haiden Deegan, brought to you by FXR tonight. Just a few more for you. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, Haiden. So obviously, you had the YouTube success, and you have created a brand for yourself, and you have a lot of people in this sport are fans, and they have guys that they like. But you're one of the few guys, you and Jet, and Tomac, and Roxon, guys that you've trained with this year. They have super fans, and we have a guy in the chat that's made monetary donations to ask you questions. We almost tripled our numbers of live viewers just because you're on. Like, what's it
He's making his ego big.
Yeah, what's it like just having super fans, and how do you deal with that, and what's the ups and downs of pros and cons kind of thing?
Yeah, having fans like this, I'm grateful for it, and it doesn't come just from me. It comes from the family I have and where I've came from in general, and I 100% see that as well. Where some of the fans act like I don't understand that my dad, helped me get where I am, but I 100% do, and he's done a lot for me. But having fans in general just that are just, crazy and yelling at the pit, it's super cool. It means a lot, and it's cool how people are so dedicated to watch someone try and succeed like me. Like, they're almost along for the ride. They see what I want to pursue, winning and racing and winning championships, and I feel like it makes them feel like they're a part of it, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, DJ.
I was going to say, the thing that I actually think is cool is not everybody is a fan of Haiden Deegan, but I haven't heard anybody say that you haven't earned the spot you have as far as your speed, the work ethic. Everybody, you hear it all the time. People talk about, hey, no, it doesn't matter how rich you are, how famous you are, how anything, you can't get to where you are without the work. And even the mediocre fans seem to know that.
Yeah, 100%. You're not going to come into this sport just off money and raised by a dad that was good at racing.
Yeah.
And pro wise, amateur maybe a little different. I could understand that, but to be a top pro and to win races and to win a championship your rookie season, trust me, it's a lot of grit, a lot of hard work, and it's writing down your goals and just chasing those and not letting anything get to you. I mean, there's people out there that just try and crush you daily, and you just got to use those guys as motivation and just keep pursuing your dream to be a champion and win races.
And we have one more question from the live. I mean, Darkside might have more, but we have another one from the live chat. Austin also wanted to know, Tomac, Kenny, Webb, all have had success leaving the grinding routine as far as like training facilities and stuff like that. Do you ever see yourself getting away from the gauntlet of the farm?
I mean, you're training at the farm with a lot of top guys, and you're right now where I'm at. I'm just continuously learning from other people. So I don't think anytime soon I'd go on my own way for training, because, I still have a lot to learn, and Swanee has a lot of knowledge with guys that won championships. Stars won several titles over the years. So right now where I'm at, I like it.
That's a very humble way to look at it. Yeah. I'll give you that.
All right, Haiden. Your biggest fan sent in a message. A guy named Daxton Bennick. I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
Yeah, he's your biggest. No. He said he's your biggest fan, and he wants to know. Now I'm trying to find it. Jesus. Okay, who has the most Riz or gets more box between Daxton, Haiden, and Gavin Towers?
Haiden, Darkside did have to ask me what Riz was.
I thought I knew what Riz was, but I wasn't sure. I'm 8 years old.
Yeah, we have to give it to Towers. He's been on one. He's been on the girls lately, so we're giving it to Towers.
So is that what we're going to
GT15?
So is that what we're going to say this weekend's bad performance was because he was just not focused?
Yikes!
Yeah, definitely. He was definitely.
Hey, what's your quote? The girls only make you go slow, and I don't know. Haiden said it like when he was in the 85s. Like
that was a long time ago.
Girls make you go slow or something like that.
Yeah, I know. This is actually Powers right here. He's not happy about the girl situation. He actually just got dropped off by a girl.
Oh,
GT. Hey,
she took you for some ice cream?
Gavin's our boy.
Yeah.
And watching this weekend, I was like, what is going on?
dude, he's been he's been struggling at the future races. Maybe you guys need to keep him away from the Riz in the box.
Yeah, me and Dax will get him right.
All right. Okay, I've got a couple more form questions, and I have a question that I need to ask you where you might not be happy with me. But all right, from the Vital Forum, Spoon Guy has two questions. Who were your heroes, and what do you feel your weakness is in racing?
Heroes, you got James Stewart, Ricky Carmichael, and then outside of racing, I also look up to guys like David Goggins and just dudes that are just freaking dog mentality and want to work and better themselves. And I have people I look up to. There's several, and weaknesses. There's a few. It's clear what some of my weaknesses are, and as I mature, I grow out of them. But weaknesses were just kind of controlling myself at some of the races and mentally just focusing on myself, and that's where I feel like I'm slowly getting there. And obviously, there's been a few scenarios this year, but I just got to learn from them and just keep moving forward and bettering myself as a person and just believing in the past.
Okay. Jeremy AK wants to know, if you had to work on your own bike, if Duff's not around, how much work could you get done?
When I first got my KTM 250 for a solid few weeks, I was working on it myself. When I'd get back from the track, I'd wash it, filter, change the oil filter. I could do I'm not too big on it was a stock 250. So all I really had to do was change oil, do the oil filter, normal filter, gas, spoke, washed it, did that for a few weeks. So I got the basics down, but nothing internal. I would take it to Jamie at Twisted Development to get some, when it was getting deep, worked on. Yeah,
Jamie Ellis kills it. Good. All right. One more form question. Sandberm 656 said, you finished fourth in 250 MX in 23. Hunter, who won, Justin Cooper, who got second, both moved up. Where is your confidence level going into outdoors in a couple months?
Yeah, outdoors, I had the red plate. I won races. I Washugo. That was the breakout moment for me. I came from third or fourth. I beat, those guys straight up and by a pretty large margin in both races. And that's where it was kind of realizing that I can beat these dudes. That was a big motivator for me. And dude, next year coming into outdoors, it's game on, right? I have my goals set high and I'm going to go chase those and just trust God's plan, trust my plan, and just keep working towards my goals and see if we can go win some more races.
Okay. All right. Now let's get into this last thing I got for you. You have a team around you, not Star Racing, but your family, your dad, your mom, who kind of probably help manage not only just everything that goes on in your career, right? They've helped build the Danger Boy quote unquote character up, kind of made you a big character within social media, and that's brought you a lot of fans, and there's a lot of eyes on you at all times. How much of maybe what you say on the podium or how you react do you guys discuss that? You need to be humble, or you need to be, excited, or do you talk about how you're going to respond on the podium or in interviews?
Yeah, there's nothing, we don't sit down and talk about it. A lot of it just came from when I've watched people and some thoughts I get. I say some stuff, but as of now, it's I've just been going off my own instinct. And besides since I last won, that interview obviously got some publicity, good and bad. Yeah. But since then, it's more just going to how I feel and not listening to the outside people. And my family is around me. They teach me to, be respectful and stuff. And I just got to implement that. And that's what I've been trying to do. Okay.
And to finish off with that topic, you're a young kid, man. There's a lot of adrenaline. There's a lot going on when you're racing. And I will be honest, I was a little critical of you at Detroit and at Birmingham with on track, with you being upset with Vial and you being upset with Handmaker. I was a little bit critical of your reaction. Do you have any thoughts on that? Is it just the heat of the moment? Do you think about how you're going to react in the future? Did it change anything? Just kind of talk about that, I guess.
Yeah, getting into the moments like that. I mean, the Haymaker situation, I was just upset because it was almost the second. I just personally, it was like, there's no way this happened again. Like, it was the second time, and I watched it back. I mean, it could be my fault and his fault. There's both scenarios. And it was honestly just coming down to the point where I was like, if stuff happens like that, I gotta be mature about it. And that's what I've learned from it. And that's just what I've taken from those scenarios to, not freak out and not make a big scene, and I've learned from it.
Yeah, it's not easy. Like, I mean, again, I was a little bit critical of you, but at your age, I mean, at local races, when I sucked in the beginner class, I would throw tantrums. I've lost helmets, thrown them out in the woods, so I get it. In the heat of the moment, when you're competing, it's just very difficult to control those things. But I appreciate you answering it, and I appreciate the answer you gave and that you're at least thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, you're young, and I think we don't always remember how young you are and how much attention is on every move you make.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a lot of pressure in this sport too. I mean, I'm the guy that's supposed to win. Like, that's my second year. Everyone's expecting me to win, and those things happen. Some of them are in your control, and some of them are out of your control. And you're like, things like they're hindering. You're like, dang it, and you freak out. But
yeah,
I've taken it in now, and I've learned from it that you got to move on, and you just got to keep pushing forward.
Well, Haiden, we've kept you long enough. I really appreciate you coming on because I know it's not something you've been doing a lot this year. I appreciate you being honest with us. If Daxton's still in the background, dude, step up. Let's get some. You got to get on the podium, buddy.
And then get Gavin straightened out. That's important.
GT,
you got to get on the podium.
Yeah.
GT, stay away from the girls.
Different kind of box.
Yep.
All right, Haiden, thank you, buddy. You guys have fun. Be safe.
All right, thank you. See ya.
All right, see you, bud. All right, that's Haiden Deegan, brought to you by FXR. That was a good interview, man. It went well. Yeah? Anybody?
Yeah, we went
TJ,
from...
why are we shaking heads?
Because, I've not always been a fan of Deegan, but then you do an interview like that, and I'm like, I was really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like
he's not... That's the thing is, it's like, we've had
he's not the person that he gets made out to be.
Is that not what I said earlier in the year? Like, when I talk to him in person, he's so respectful. He's just a kid, man.
Yeah.
But he is.
We all did stupid stuff when we were kids.
Imagine when you were like 17, you had like 50 grown men like posting articles about like the dumb decisions that you made in the heat of the moment. Like, yeah, I mean, it's just, he's a kid, and
as I got out of jail.
Yeah, and he's
exactly. I mean, we're also critical of everything that goes on. I mean, all you got to do is look at every single YouTube comment on everything in our sport or Instagram, Twitter, etc. We're all critical of everybody. And it has to be a kid his age. That's so much pressure. Can you imagine when you were doing stupid stuff as a kid, having a million people, literally a million people telling you you're an idiot or you suck or I love you, and you see it all, or you at least it's noise. It's like it's not like it's somebody across the country that you don't ever hear from. They're commenting on your shit.
No, I get it. No, like I said, I've not always been a big fan, and I have been super critical. But then I'm a part of an interview like that, and at the end of it, I'm like, maybe I need his autograph.
Critical comments and hate get tied together, and it's not. It's like okay, we didn't like that, but it doesn't mean that we don't like Haiden Deegan. It just meant that like that situation could have been handled. He admitted it. I didn't handle that right. It's a learning moment. He's grown from it. Like. He's 17 or 18. Give him a break.
I did save that for the last question.
Yeah, I was thinking about that halfway through. I was like, at least he saved this for the end, so if he didn't ruin the interview, if it pissed him off. Yeah,
I saved it, but like somebody. Oh, actually, Michael Lindsay said, "Are you actually going to?" He didn't know what my questions were. I was talking to ML this morning. He said, "Are you going to bring up how critical you were earlier in the season?" It's like, I didn't even know ML knew because I didn't think he listened to the show.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I actually am. But I'm going to do it at the end.
Yeah. I kind of asked him about that and also about his dad having been such a polarizing character. And he answered it quite well.
Absolutely. That was good. I hope, hopefully at least a few of the people that joined for Haiden.
Well, we almost had 400 live at one time.
Okay.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
We went from like at the beginning of the show, we went from like 90 to when Deegan came on to like
close to 400.
Yeah, 400. Yeah.
Now at 350. I appreciate everybody for watching.
That was good stuff. RJ Hampshire coming up here in about 20 minutes.
RJ's awesome.
Yeah, RJ's great. We're going to get into right now, though, the X Brand forum check-in. X Brand is your choice for clear vision and a leader in motocross and off-road goggles. X-Brand is used by many of the top GNCC riders, including the 2023 XC1 champion Craig DeLong, 2023 National Hare and Hound XC1 champion Dalton Shurry, 2023 AMA National Enduro champion Grant Baylor, as well as Lyndon Snodgrass and motocross, supercross, and arena cross riders like Kyle Chisholm, Freddie Noren, Henry Miller, Michael Hicks, Richard Taylor, Jerry Rodman, and many more. Visit EKSbrand.com or go to your local dealership and ask for X-Brand distributed through WPS. The X-Brand Forum check-in this week is a topic that I am trying to pull up. My typical day at the track my typical day at the track just changed forever. Posted by Chad_111. Thought this was kind of fun. Last year, a typical non-race day at the track consisted of me starting with a 3-lap warm-up, then break, 4 or 5 laps, break, 5 laps. Anyway, typical day, right? Well, this winter, I bought my kids, 3 and 5, a PW50. Yesterday was their first time out on it. My 3-year-old son loves watching dirt bike videos and has been talking all winter about wanting to ride his motorbike. And my 5-year-old daughter barely mentioned it at all. When we got out, he wanted to ride first. Things got a little hairy for him. He hit some tires, lining the track, and was terrified after that. We'll try again with him next week somewhere, maybe a bit more flat. My daughter hopped on and rode lap after lap after lap. I could hear her woo and wee every time she'd go over some bumps or little hill. She literally rode for 2.5 hours straight, stopped only once to refuel, have a drink, and to say that her hands and arms hurt, but she wanted to keep going. 2 minutes later, she was at it again. Anyway, I just thought that was awesome. That's cool that his daughter's all into it. It's pretty exciting. Brought me back to my memories of riding with my dad when I was a little kid. Just thought it was a really cool story that the son was like all into it.
Yeah.
Had a little crash. Out.
Give it a week.
Sounds familiar also.
Give it a week.
But the daughter's all in. I mean, she's ripping. Just a really cool story, man. It kind of, that's what moto's about, right? These stories like that.
Yeah. One of my, I obviously don't have a kid yet, and, that's coming, hopefully coming in the future. One of my biggest fears as a potential parent is that my kid doesn't like motocross.
Really?
My
kid didn't get into it, and I was so happy because... Really? Dude, I would go, when he rode for like a month, he was on the track and I was on the track and I couldn't ride because I was so panicked.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't want to go, I was like, cool, I'd go ride.
I had 2 kids. One was into it, one wasn't.
Yeah.
I was indifferent. It was whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe when
you're
they get older,
be one of those parents that's going to be like trying to live vicariously through your kids.
What?
That's what it sounds like.
That is I just want him to go out. I want to go out and ride with
Hey, little Scotty Jr.
Well,
do you want to start a
podcast? Name your kid Scotty
do you want to
Jr.?
start a podcast
No, I'm
with
not
me?
going to name my kid Scotty Jr. First of all, Scott's my middle name. Second of all, I bonded with my dad growing up racing and like being riding stuff, and I would miss that if my kid wasn't into it. Like that's when I think about
what if he's into fishing?
When I think about then I guess I'll go fishing. But when I think about my childhood, I think about the times with my dad at the track, and I hope I get that same thing.
That part I get. My kid was into watching it for a few years, and he was like a Chad Reed fan, and I felt like I failed a little bit because I was a Stu guy, so that was a problem. And then when he got into hip hop, I was like, oh yeah, I really failed. But I had a few years where he was into it.
So glad your kid's into hip hop.
He's into hard rock too, though. He's back.
I'm just saying.
He's back.
As
long as he wasn't into country.
God, I wish I would have known it. My kid listens to country sometimes.
Yeah, see, you have to move out. Like Aiden Kiefer gets in my truck and is like, wants to play like, I don't know. I don't even know what they are. I'm like, dude, I can't. I just can't do it. I want to run into
country.
I want to run into a tree.
Wait, Aiden Kiefer listens to country?
Well, he listens to rap more, but he does like some country.
It's probably it's got to be like bro
like
country.
Texas country.
There's a guy that's Morgan
Wallen.
That guy. He played a bunch of that.
Yeah, I can't.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I can't.
Awful. But anyway, though, I just thought that was a really cool topic. I thought I was kind of happy for the guy that his daughter's into it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Just a cool story.
I mean, that's what we all do, and I give it to the TCCRA or cross country guys. Like it's super family involved, and like it's cool seeing all the families get together for the kids race, and they're all into it. And it's just, I mean, that's what you do it for. You do it to have the family involved and have the kids. So
yeah,
get another bike, man. Let them both have one.
You guys,
the boy will be into it soon enough. Give him time.
Yeah, again,
this weekend.
These are the type of stories that we want to hear from our listeners, our viewers. MotoXpodshow@gmail.com. You guys got stories like that? Send them. We'll read them in the emails. Want to hear your stories of riding with your kids. Let us know what you thought about the Haiden Deegan interview, etc. We want all that feedback. It's important to us. I would like the Evans Coolant email section to be like one of the longest segments. I would love, honestly, I would rather have interaction with our listeners, a lot more of that than even the guests. That's fun. That's just not that the guests aren't fun.
You've always enjoyed it when people send emails.
Yeah. So I want more of that. All right.
I hate all the guests.
Yeah. Well, you hate dirt bikes too, so it's just weird. I mean, the only reason you show up is for the payday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you weren't paying me, I wasn't here.
Exactly. Oh shit, we haven't paid Scotty in a while.
Shh.
I keep waiting for him to not show up.
I mean, you would think just to go to HR.
It's just a testament of my dedication.
It's actually not a bad point. I'll give you that one.
Come in and just pooped on. Yeah.
Barnett clutch performance of the week. Barnett Dirt Digger clutch kits have 75 years of experience behind every kit. Engineered for maximum performance, Dirt Digger clutch kits feature friction materials formulated exclusively for Barnett. Get yours at barnettclutches.com and get 10% off with promo code VITALMX, all caps. Everybody's going to need a clutch kit at some point. Might as well use Barnett, the best in the business. They support the MotoXpod show. We need to support them. VitalMX promo code saves you 10%. Anybody got one?
Yeah, I got one.
Let's go.
TJ? The Haiden Deegan interview.
That was your clutch performance?
Just now. Like, what a good interview. I mean, I know I was making a joke, but.
Wow.
Yeah.
TJ is... Like I didn't expect, Scotty, this is almost like I would be equally surprised if TJ all of a sudden went, I don't mind spending $50 on a steak.
No, you're reaching.
Okay, that's too far?
You're a dreamer.
All right, fair enough.
I guess my clutch performance it's got to be Coop, man. Like that's
a good one.
It was super clutch, dude. He got obviously got the whole shot, but he had the Rocks and Sexton behind him the whole race, and but it looked like he was going to get past several times, and he would.
That's what I was going to ask. It really felt like he was slower than those guys.
Yeah,
but
dude, he's
like I said earlier, I think Chase was probably. I never really looked at lap times.
Yeah,
I feel Chase had more in the tank. Maybe Coop did too if he needed it. Because he wasn't doing the triple single.
But who won? I mean,
yeah, it was rad, dude. It was great.
Watching Cooper, and he
won the press conference.
I've always that was awesome. I've always liked Coop. He's never been maybe one of my favorites, but man, there's just time and time again, he's just proven to be gritty. And now I think that he's slowly turning into the guy for me. It was Tomac for a while. Then I've really been on seeing Sexton progress. But now, man, I'm just so much respect for Coop and how he just kind of stays cavalier and in the moment and makes jokes about whatever with you in the press conference. And the fact that he's tied in points, it just blows my mind. Like it's crazy, and I'm excited to see how this ends.
My Barnett clutch performance is a Luke Fowler in the futures. I already kind of talked about it. I feel like he had lost the speed. He might have been a little arm pump maybe. He was clipping jumps. He was a little, in my opinion, out of control once.
Riding over his head.
Yeah, Davies got by him. But clutch performance, man, he stepped it back up, ran it in, got the third, got the podium. Good job, man. I texted him afterwards like, hey, man, that was actually pretty impressive. That was good stuff. So I'm going to give it to Luke.
That probably went a long way with him because I guarantee you most people didn't notice because they were like Scotty and just checked out.
Huh? What? Yeah. Let's touch on, before we get RJ real quick, that press conference, because I have got a lot of feedback on Cooper's response. And I've had people text me or email me or whatever and say, or DM me and say, like, was that pre-planned? Oh, great job with the question. Like, it was a throwaway question. I deserve zero credit. It literally was
for everything.
I was thinking about it. Oh, I'm sorry.
It was literally Steve Mathis tweets every week about who has jackets on. He gets the credit. I just thought, when I thought about the fact that Mathis said the only guy not wearing a jacket was Coop, and it was clearly cold, I was like, I wonder if that's a head game thing. Like when he goes down on the track and says to Eli, like, you fucking ready to go? Let's go. He does play those games.
I would have had that same thought.
Yeah. So that's what I just wanted to ask him that. I had certainly wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. Like, how did he like that was pretty damn witty just to think of. Like, you're in a press conference, you got lights, going action, and they're used to that stuff. But to think of that on the moment, I think like when you said just something, how it clicked like a light bulb when you said jacket off, he just heard it that way, and he probably chuckled a little bit in his head, and it's like, yeah, I'm about to drop a bomb, and he did, and it was awesome. I'm sure it's gotten all kinds of crazy views and topics and stuff.
Yeah,
like
it was funny. Coop's good. But okay, we've got a few minutes before RJ. I do want to ask you guys about press conferences in general, because I scrolled. I guess I don't. I went and looked at the comments this week because I wanted to see what the responses were
on the YouTube.
Yeah, of the YouTube comments for the press conference
on the AMA's web.
Supercross.
Supercross.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I wanted to see what the responses were to that question, that because I knew that was going to get a lot of response. But I thought the question I asked Chase Sexton before that was pretty good, which you guys haven't seen the whole thing yet. I said, hey, you have said at the beginning of the year, Chase, that you were a little frustrated trying to get the bike where you wanted it. You've told Lewis Phillips recently how happy you are on a night like tonight where you rode really well. You get a third. Are you happy or are you frustrated? That was the question.
That's a good question.
I thought it was pretty good. So I wanted to see what the responses to that was. Mostly what I saw was that was really funny with the Cooper.
Yeah.
Or people going, the media sucks. Everybody in the media is awful. All these questions are awful. So I want to ask you guys, like, what do you think people like that expect? Like, what questions, what are these people that hate everything I do and everything Lewis does, and what would what do they want asked?
They don't love themselves, man.
But here's the thing. It would take every single, I'm putting air quotes up, journalist or person who's able to ask questions to ask good questions for them to all be happy. But when you have this,
what is a good question to somebody like that?
That was good. No, what I'm getting at is all it takes is one bad question, and they're going to make that.
Well, he
comment.
said my question was crap. And I don't feel like the Cooper one was a throwaway question. Whatever. But the Chase question was good. I feel like I asked.
Was he talking? Which one was he talking about?
I think he's in general. He said everything basically Vital does is crap, and he also was
just move on.
This particular guy was clearly like a troll because he made comments about Cameron McAdoo's wife. He made other negative comments, but there are a lot of people that I see when I do look at the comments on the press conference. They always ask the same question. These are all crap questions, and I'm just curious, like, what are the genius questions that none of us ever think of?
Well, the problem is there are a lot of good questions, but these guys aren't going to answer them.
Yeah,
you could still ask them as long as they're not disrespectful. But what? Okay, think of a question right now, if you can, quickly, that we could ask that nobody asked that they're not going to answer.
Basically set up questions for the bike. They're not going to answer that. You know what I mean?
But those do get asked. What'd you change on the bike?
But those guys, they don't answer. Oh, I did a clicker there.
But we asked.
But hold on.
That's a boring question. All right, I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
The reason why y'all don't ask those questions is because you know they won't answer them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know exactly what they will or won't answer. Now, if you got somebody up there who, let's just say, I don't know, Phil Nicoletti or somebody like that who gets on the podium.
He gets himself in trouble.
But that's what I'm saying. If he got on there, you could ask almost anything, he would answer it because he is degassed, right? Sure. But you don't have that right now with the top guys. Whether it's because they've been trained to be that way or if they're told to be that way, we don't know, but they will not answer things. So y'all aren't going to ask questions that they won't answer.
That'd be a good, interesting, like, kind of poll question. Do you like do you want to see more of the kind of in-depth questions, like, hey, like this result tonight, made it seem like, the bike's getting better. Like, have you dealt with that? Those kind of deep questions, or do they really just want to, it's a post-race show. Do you want us to break down the race more? Talk. I mean, there's only so much you can talk about the track and like the race. Like, do they want more racecraft questions, or do they want more deep, think outside the box questions? Like which, what do they want? And like that would be interesting to see which way they would want it to go.
Yeah, and I feel like we do ask those type of questions.
But the riders won't answer.
Yeah. Well, our next guest of the night's on the line, so maybe we can ask him about.
He just won't answer questions for the whole time.
For the whole show?
For the whole
show. You think
show.
He's going to ignore every question we ask?
Every question.
We'll ask him the press conference question in a second. Andy Gregg and the Guts Racing crew continue to provide the best seats and foam available. If you want the same seats used by Rockstar Husqvarna, Hep Suzuki, and many more, then you need Guts Racing. They have numerous color possibilities, staple or Velcro installation options, wing seats, and the best foam in the business with the Phantom Ultralight Seat Foam. Don't forget, they have complete seats for the Talare and Super 73 and covers for the Sur-Ron and Segway. They strive to ship orders within 36 hours, so visit gutsracing.com and order today. Guts Racing brings us tonight from Rockstar Husqvarna, RJ Hampshire. What's up, RJ?
How much, guys? How's it going?
Good, man. Finally glad to have you on. It took us a few weeks to get our schedules together, but we got it done.
Yeah, that's on me. That's my fault.
It's all good, dude. You were traveling, it's all good. It's part of your job is schedule issues, I'm sure.
Yeah. Sometimes it last week was kind of unexpected, and then I was like, man, hey, look, I'm going to try to get this flight. I'm not for sure, and good thing we did cancel because I ended up getting on it. So
nice.
Would have bailed.
So you went out to Cali to do some testing?
Yep. Yeah. We I was out there last week, a couple of days, get our first kind of outdoor test going.
GH?
No, we actually had Paula Tuesday.
Okay.
But we went to a new place. It's called like Avocado Ranch.
Never heard of it. Is it good?
Yeah, they rented it out Monday, and man, it was actually sweet. Like, it's kind of new, I would assume. But man, yeah, it was cool. It was literally like up in the mountains. Really good elevation changes, and yeah, I mean, it'll be sweet here in no time.
Obviously, it's like very minimal outdoor training testing so far, but are you happy with what you accomplished in the first session?
Yeah. I rode it a couple of days before I went out there, and then we just had a lot of kind of new parts to run through this year. I'm sure a lot of people already know this, but we're on 48 forks.
Yep.
Full time. So that was something I've raced nations on, but literally no testing. Like, it was like, here, we actually you can go race on these. So go
See
race.
how it goes.
So,
yeah.
That was pretty much my nation. So it was kind of like, let's get a setting with that, and then we actually had some other parts, new parts for outdoors that we were able to run through. Everything went well.
Well, we'll see. We have some Vital MX forum questions for you towards the end of the show, and I'm just going to kind of throw one out there right now. Were you tested at 250 or 450?
No, 250.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah, actually, I rode a 450 when I came back last week. Man, it's so tough. Like,
yeah.
I'm in a tough spot in my career too. Like, man, I really want to go race on a 450 and feel awesome on it, but also it's like, look, I can do well on a 250, but the sponsors pay for, so it's like, okay, I got to kind of stay in my lane. And yeah, I mean, the team kind of sees where the marketing and everything is, so I kind of have to do what I'm told, and also like go when I'm ready.
Yeah, so like our Vital Forum members, Dog Lover 136 and 9Bro9 were asking if we would see you on a 450 outdoors or when. As of right now, no plans. Is that what I'm assuming?
No, this year I'm 100% sticking with the 250. We're kind of in the works yet on next year. It really depends on kind of where I'm at, what my teammates look like, and where I can do. I will say I'm pushing hard for racing the opposite coast, no matter what, on a 450. So that's kind of what I want, and I'm pretty sure that's kind of going to be what's in play.
Okay, nice. All right.
So you're talking about riding the 450. Coming from somebody like you who is at the top of the 250 class, does looking at the amount of competition in the 450 class like set you back going, you know where you'll be, you don't know where you'll be, you want to test the waters? Where are you at on that?
Yeah, I it's so hard to really say, and man, I've had days where I'm on a 450 and I'm like, man, I'm just wasting time and wasting years right now in the 250 class. And then also it's like when I go out and don't do on the weekend, it's like, okay, it humbles you real quick. And you don't know until you go racing. And I need time on the 450 on Supercross. Like, I'm 100% well aware I need that. So again, I'm really going to try to spend an off season on the 450 quite a bit on Supercross, and then just kind of see where that goes. I do ride the 450 really well, and I do think I can do good outdoors. But also, kind of have to stay in my lane, and I haven't won on a 250, so
Yeah.
Hey, fair enough.
Yeah, RJ,
Yeah.
You mentioned that, and it's a good point that you're kind of stuck in this weird place. Earlier in the show, we were talking about how we would like to see the coast changed by age groups, like defined by age groups, where you have whatever the cutoff age is, you're the younger guys and the older guys, that makes the class more competitive. What are your thoughts on that, and do you think that could succeed in our sport?
I don't think so. I mean, man, like these companies want to invest in, the best riders, and the value that our sponsors are getting out of me racing a 250 class right now is massive. Like some of these big teams, even speaking for ours, like if I wasn't out there on 250 right now, like they're not getting much exposure or getting what they put into it, I would say.
Well,
So it's like, man, it's a business, so you're gonna do what's best for the business. And if that's putting a 30-year-old dude out there racing 250, then hey, that's it.
What he was talking about was there's like a deal going around talking about how like every year you'd switch it, but one coast would be like 24 and up, and the other coast would be 23 and down.
Yeah,
so
You still get that.
So you could race the 250 class as long as you want to, whatever age you want to, but one coast would have the older, more mature riders, and one would have the younger guys and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, a caller like last year called it a Pulp MX and asked Steve about like maybe separating the guys maybe in their first 3 years in the 250 class on one coast, and guys like yourself and Jordan, maybe more experienced guys on another coast, just to separate, I guess, the experience levels a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like that sounds like a great idea, but say, even just say the older guys are racing at the West Coast, so that comes around, and now 3 of those teams, like I'm hurt, Jordan's hurt, someone else is hurt. Like what happens now?
Yeah,
that's
true.
honestly what it comes down to is whoever is healthy is going racing. So that's literally what the West Coast is, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And then East Coast is the guys that are milking injuries or hurt and they need more time.
Yeah, good
That's
point.
a good point.
Good point.
That is a good point.
Before we get into this season a little bit, what we were talking about when you were on hold there for a second is I was asking these guys about the press conference because for some reason I decided to look at the YouTube comments on this week's press conference, and there's a lot of the keyboard warriors against us too. They're like, oh, all the media guys suck. All the questions are terrible. They never ask good questions. I don't think I asked you this question of the week. I don't think you were there when I did this question, but what do you think of the media? Maybe what we could do better. The questions we ask, like if we ask more deep questions, you guys don't always answer them, and we kind of know that. So just in general, what do you think of the media and how we present ourselves?
I think you have to take what rider you're talking to, kind of in consideration. Like I'm pretty open with whatever. Like you can ask me whatever you feel like, and I'm gonna talk. Like I want to talk. And then you're also gonna ask some guys that are scared to, or might not say the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it's just more who you're talking to. Like even I said something a few weeks ago to Gypsy. Like he asked me something, and I was like, well, if you asked a good question, and then he came back with, well, what do you want to ask? It's like, well, you can't really say that. Like you got to be in the situation or kind of know what the night brought you.
Yep.
Because I mean, even like Seattle, like in the press conference, like I had so much more I could have said or talked about, or even just like the 6 weeks that we had off leading up to that. But it was just never brought up. And then, at the end of the races, like you're not going to want to hang around after a press conference and still do talk. Like, so
Sure.
It's like, hey, look, I'm out of here. Like I just did a press conference, everything. So then, no one hears the stories or whatever the heck just happened the last, 4 or 5 weeks.
All right. Well, I need to keep that in mind. Yeah.
What'd you think of the jacket off comment from Cooper?
You might not have heard it.
Yeah. No, I did. I just seen the comments and stuff. No, that's funny. I mean, Coop's a little shit. Like, we go back and forth.
Well,
like, that's just
that's just Coop. Like, you expect that stuff.
The clip got cut a little short because I asked him. I had to ask the question, and I said, "Hey, I want a good answer," and he gave me one.
Yeah, you got what you asked for. Hey, RJ, we have a listener question. They said, "Looks like another 50% chance of rain in Nashville. Would you rather have a mutter for a higher chance of shakeup in points, or are you over the sloppy tracks?"
Man, I've dug myself in a pretty big hole right now. So yeah, I was saying, like, man, maybe I need some mud. But also, I just feel like I'm riding really well and better on hard pack and whoops that aren't jumpers and the different types of tracks. I mean, if you look at both wins I have this season, the tracks were good. Both sets of whoops were blitzing, literally pretty much both races. I don't know, man. It's just like, look, I got to go win. I mean, it doesn't matter what we're racing. I have to win if I want to have a shot at the championship. So whatever happens behind me, that's whatever. But it just sucks. Like, man, I like Levi a lot as a person.
Yeah.
So me battling with him as a championship is tough because this opportunity may never happen again. So you're gonna take a shot if you have one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm torn, man. I mean, I like Levi also. I like you, and you're one of the older vet guys. I want to see you get a championship. I like Jordan. Jordan comes so close to winning championships. Like, I'm torn just emotionally on what I'd like to see out of this championship. But yeah, it's got to be insane for you. I think you're 15 down on Levi. With the showdown coming up, how much does a showdown play into what's the word I'm looking for? Like a game plan, basically, because there are other factors with the other coast. Do you approach a showdown just like any other race?
Man, honestly, my go-to or my plan is to get a start. Like, I don't care what we're racing, who I'm racing. Like, truthfully, I feel like I was the better guy. I was a better rider at St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not get out of the gate. And then it just screwed me. And that's how the tracks are. Like, and you have to have a start. And, I didn't. Like, Levi was 100%. Like, he was better than me in Seattle. And I took that, like, hey, look, he was better. St. Louis, I did not take that one lightly because I knew I had the speed on him. And, I just struggled to get out of the gate. So that's where I'm at now. It's like, okay, look, you put yourself in a situation where it's kind of, you got to go out and win these last three. So really try to work on starts. And that's another thing I did last week when I went out to California is, we worked on those and tried to just make more consistent and just be better. Just put myself in a good spot and let whatever goes on behind you, happen. And heck, like I said, we have Deegs, we have Cameron and a bunch of other guys that we can put in between us, which would help out a lot.
When you go and work on starts, everybody I've asked this year about start maps, none of the pros are saying they're using start maps, but do you try different things like start maps, like different whole shot device heights or just different kind of traction control things, anything like that? If you can't say, that's fine.
I said I'll answer your questions, so I'll answer them. So
okay.
Yeah, no. So I've had a start button on my bike since outdoors last year. I used it all outdoors, and it did not work for me. I used it when I went to Nations, and I had the biggest hole shot of my life. And then I go like on the qualifying day, and then I get into off season for Supercross, and man, I just felt like the start button was not working how I wanted it to. I was more consistent with. Or not consistent, just I felt more confident without the start button. And I mean, I'd say the first couple of rounds, like I had decent starts, nothing crazy. Mm-hmm. And then, man, Seattle was junk. And then I literally had 4 terrible starts. Well, not terrible, but I was better. So I needed to be better. Now we made a little adjustments and I'm back on the start button leading into these last, 3 rounds, and I'm sticking with it for Supercross. So if I whole shot this weekend, then the start button is getting tattooed on
Okay. Awesome. Thanks.
So since we've conned you into answering all of our questions,
Oh God.
Oh, boy.
no, but seriously, on the start button, can you? I mean, we hear a lot of them go back and forth talking about that. Can you? What is that? What does that feel like? What's the feeling? What's the things that people either like or don't like? Like, can you describe the technical feeling behind that start button and what it's doing for you?
Well, I know there's like different teams have different uses of the start button. I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that Honda, for the last 2 years or whatever, like they had their RPMs at a certain number, where you could sit there and hold that bike wide open and it was going to max out at that RPM. And you literally dump the clutch. When you hit third gear, usually it clicks out of the start button. So that's a way to make sure you're consistent every time, you know how the launch is and everything like that. And there's also different start buttons with like maybe I'd say a little bit more power, just depending on the dirt, I'd say, or like how tacky or hard pack it is. You can take, that start button and have it be a little bit luggier over the gates. You do get more traction. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of all depends what you want. Like you can kind of design one how you want to.
That's cool.
Yeah. There's so much to them, and I mean, I know very minimal, I'd say, compared to what those guys do.
And that's more information than we've gotten out of anybody about anything all year, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can do a lot with those things.
Yeah. RJ Hampshire tonight brought to you by Guts Racing. Go ahead, Scotty.
Hey, RJ. So, I'm going to try to answer or ask this question without sounding too cliche, but it's always been, obviously you always expect yourself to win and perform to your best, and the team expects that out of you as well. This season might be one of the, few years where you were truly like the guy, expected to be the guy. Did that give you confidence? Did that change how you looked at the pressure? Just kind of take us through how that felt through the offseason into the first round.
Man, it's been my whole career as like it's gonna be the hard way. Like there's no easiness in my path. So I knew it was gonna be tough. And yeah, I mean, I truthfully feel like I'm the guy every weekend. I can go out there and win. Showed up at A1, dominated, and I was like, look, yeah, I expected that. Then awesome. Just those last two or the next two rounds, man, like it was like, okay, you just got dealt probably one of the worst supercrosses in San Fran, and now you're lost the points lead after you had it for 1 week. Let's try to get ourselves back, and then made a stupid mistake in the mud again in San Diego. So yeah, then I was like, okay, let's get this back on track, get back going. Second, Anaheim 2, and then I win Phoenix. So I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Like, yeah, you want to do that. Well, now it's like you just got back on track, but you have 6 weeks off. Like you got to go kind of reset. And man, honestly, like those 6 weeks were tough, brutal. Like I had 2 big crashes that were just stupid. And now it's like, okay, you got to get back on track and know you can go out there and win after you just sat, on the sideline for 6 weeks. So yeah, just kind of, it's tough. Like, man, the sport's brutal, and I just kind of have to accept, like, look, it's not, you're not going to have, good races, good weather or whatever. I mean, dude, the years past, I've never had a supercross season as crazy as what this one has been, like with the weather and the tracks and everything else. And yeah, just like I was literally just talking to my wife about it. I'm like, man, like I feel like guys that have won championships in the past or that didn't win championships probably would have in this kind of situation or this supercross that we've been in, just based off of weather and how the tracks are and how the whoops are and all that. So yeah, it's just the cards I'm dealt. Like I'm not gonna make excuses or whatever. Just try to get myself back in it. And yeah, I mean, I'm 15 down, but I'd still feel like, look, just go out there and win. Try to get back in it.
Yeah, with the points the way they are going into a showdown like this weekend, you've been kind of one of the guys I've been thinking about that could really benefit the most from a race like this, especially if it's going to be another inclement weather race that it looks like. Like I really look for you to shine, and like with these showdowns, man, anything can happen. So yeah, you're totally still in it.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, look, just crush my start. execute that and then let whatever happens on behind me, do whatever. Like I do feel like I'm the fastest guy, like I can be. So, get out front and just focus on my laps. Like, man, I've both weekends that I've won, like I've caught past Levi and won kind of, not easy, but, just kind of manage the race. So, yeah, I know I can. It's just kind of put myself in a better spot.
A couple more questions, and we've got a couple Vital MX forum questions for you. But I want to ask you about riding style. And over the last couple of years, there's those times when we're talking about RJ Hampshire, I always go, RJ's going to RJ. Have you consciously changed anything in your riding technique this year, thinking about that? Or, it does feel like it's been a little bit smoother. I wonder what you think about that.
Yeah, there's definitely those moments, but a lot of those moments come from me overriding a bike.
Yep.
Or me asking too much of my bike and it's not there. And that's just, that's me trying to give it everything I have and what I'm on is not able to do that. And my bike's a hell of a lot better this year. So I think that plays a big kind of role. I haven't really changed much.
Okay.
My mentality's still the same. My bike kind of calmed down a little bit more, but it's also my bike. Like things come a little bit easier to me than what they would have in years past.
Okay, good to hear.
So he found a way to get his bike to handle the RJ.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it can keep up with it.
Nice. Just I feel like a kind of a fun question. In 2025, there are rumors that there's going to be a combined MXGP and Pro National. Would that be anything extra special to you? I know you got to do Nations, but to have those guys come over here and do a full-on moto race, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. I'd be all for it. And man, like Nations was so cool, and most of those guys were awesome to me. And it's funny now because Kai, the Wolf, is crushing it over there.
Yeah, he is.
But we like kind of went back and forth with each other and Nations. He's like, I'm the guy over here that's strong at the end of the moto. It's like, that's me. And then it came down to the second moto or whatever. I went down on the first turn and I was catching up to him, and we were literally the only ones at the end of that moto still trying to go for it. And it was just funny. Like, he's the guy over there, and then like over here, I'm not gonna fade at the end of these motos. So we were really trying to prove a point, and some mechanics were laughing about it after the race.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
It would be cool.
Yeah, I'm actually Kai's my kind of my MX2 rider. That's the guy I like a lot.
I think you just like saying Kai.
No, I actually met him at Motocross Nations in 19, and I just liked him. Like, he was a really cool dude. It kind of stuck with me that's who I started watching when I was getting into the MXGPs, and I'm a big fan. Okay, one more, and then we'll get to the forum questions. I keep asking the 250 riders this. There are 3 Triple Crowns, so one coast gets 2 of those and the other gets 1. I would like to see a neutral Triple Crown showdown. What are your thoughts?
Man, I don't know. I think, dude, I've gotten the guy battling the championship has won, I think, 3 of the last 4 of them. So I say get those things out of here.
Okay.
But man, I don't know. It's tough. Like, even St. Louis, like the track it's so different because like we go out there in our first main event, man, the track is perfect. Like, there's not a line on it. So it makes it so hard to race like a main event would actually race normally. But yeah, it would be cool for the fans. Like, I think showdown, 3 main events, it'd be chaos, but we put on a show. I know that.
Yeah, it'd be exciting.
You got 10 guys that think that they can win, 20 guys that think they can top 10. And, you're all going into a first corner 3 times. Like, that's got to be like, you're like, I think I'll pass.
Yeah. No, like I said, those things are so stressful, man.
All right, I got 2 forum questions for you. I already asked you a couple about the 450. So Spoon Guy has 2 questions for you, or 3, sorry. Who were your heroes growing up?
Just heroes, not moto heroes?
Either or. just in general?
I mean, growing up, man, I was a Chipper Jones fan, like away from dirt bikes. Like he was my guy for the Atlanta Braves baseball. But like in the moto industry, I mean, I would have to say probably RC. Just he's a family friend that, you know, I didn't grow up really in the moto. So I just kind of thought he was, you know, just normal dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, he would be my kind of moto hero.
Do you ever think about what life would have been like if you had followed the baseball career?
I mean, no. I mean, I can't look back on anything and second guess it. Like, man, it's unbelievable what I've been able to do. Left Hudson, Florida. Like, if you guys knew what Hudson was like, you don't really get out of it. So just to have the career I've already had in motocross, like I can't be, you know, more thankful for it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, if I put what I put into motocross into baseball, I 100% believe I could be in the MLB or at least be somewhere up there.
And those paychecks are a little bigger there.
Yeah. Can't deny that.
Yeah.
At least you don't have to worry about your mechanic going and making a bunch of bets with your winnings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Spoon Guy also wants to know what you think. What are your weaknesses? If you don't mind saying.
Man, so it's actually funny they bring this up. So, I don't know. I mean, you guys definitely have noticed. Like, I've cased a finish line, I think, every race weekend pretty dang hard.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it's always in a situation where I probably shouldn't, but I still do. So it was just you know, the last race in St. Louis, second time qualifying, I went P1 and was like almost a second faster than everybody. So coming down to the final, and you know, at St. Louis, like it was a tight right-hander into the finish. Like you kind of were cutting it tight. Well, I cut it tight, and like it crossed my mind, like maybe I shouldn't, but I should at the same time. And dude, same thing. Like I didn't need to do this. I was literally a second faster, and right off the face. So I cased it so hard, like just stupid. Come off the track, and my mechanic, he's like, yeah, like that hurt pretty bad too. Like, man, I was like, man, I just wish like God wouldn't put me in those situations where I had to make that decision, because every time I think there's no, I'm not going to, like, it's always yes. So yeah, I'd say that's my weakness.
I have that same thing. I wish my wife wouldn't put cookies out because I can't not eat them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, last question. We'll close out. Same guy, Spoon Guy says, in 2017, you won the MXGP of USA, and you beat guys at WW Ranch, including Hunter Lawrence, Thomas Covington, Jeremy Seawer, Chase Sexton, Prado. How big was that race? Like, when you think back on it, what did that mean to you?
Man, it was awesome. I wish I could have enjoyed it a bit more, just because of the situation I was in, like with the team and the bike. Like, I had a bike blow up on qualifying day on Saturday. So I had last gate pick coming into Sunday. It was the end of the season, so you're already over it. Like, so it was my good friend's, I think it was his 21st birthday or something like that Saturday night. So Waka Flocka was there performing. At you know, Nations, or not Nations, but MXGP.
Yeah.
It was like I shouldn't have been out, but I was out. Like, it was probably midnight, 12:30. So this was Saturday night before the race. Like, I just had a complete shit show of a day. So yeah, we were out at the thing concert, come back, we stayed at the track that night, everything, and man, it just felt more like a local race than anything. And probably doing things I shouldn't have done, and then come out Sunday and to go 1-1 and at the biggest race I've ever had. And then, like, man, just kind of like blew through, like, yeah, man, that was sick. Like, awesome. Like, I was dying. And then, like, you know, just looking back on that now, I'm like, wow, like what happened? And like, why didn't you kind of enjoy that more than what you did? Cause yeah, man, that was so cool. And I'm pretty sure that was my first win of my career, like professional win.
Yeah.
So yeah, for it to come out of GP was massive. Like, at the time, I didn't think it was so big, but now I look back on it, And man, yeah, special.
I mean, I don't know, man. What I'm hearing is, I guess we'll see you out Friday night in Nashville. You and Ashley, let's go hear some bands play, and then get up and race some Supercross.
Man, some of the wins that I did have, like I have stories behind them.
Oh boy,
probably would never be told, but yeah, just some things play out the way they should, and the results follow.
Yeah. Well, RJ, thanks for your time tonight. I know it's a little bit late on the East Coast. Thanks for doing this, and we'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Take care. Yep. RJ Hampshire tonight, brought to you by Guts Racing. Good stuff. Then that's 2 really good interviews.
Yeah.
Mitchell's got something he's going.
I'm about to say we're bringing Mitchell.
You got to set him up. Yeah.
Yeah, behind Haiden and RJ. I mean,
I tried to look it up and I couldn't find anything. I'm trying to refresh my memory. Was RJ the one back in like the 250 All-Star? Was he the one that was like it was a section that went up into the stands and he like got all bent out of shape and he like ended up like landing like in the stands, like almost in the stands? Was that him?
probably.
Don't remember that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
We're gonna say if it
Could've
was.
asked
You
him.
know,
I wish I could. Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up and be wrong and get shit on.
Oh, we would definitely. Yeah,
We're still gonna do
just like
that.
me saying. I mean, I was thinking, for some reason I was thinking Arlington was a Triple Crown because it was the year before.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
You were wrong.
We would have
It's
definitely
okay.
made fun
It's
of you.
okay.
Pay
Moving on.
attention to the sport.
Yeah, pay attention to the details. Troll training top 5. This is going to be an interesting one. Riders such as Grant Harlan, Jeremy Martin, Henry Miller, Jason Anderson all use troll training, which is the culmination of combined 3 decades spent in the trenches of the professional sports scene, refining training methods, learning, absorbing, and training alongside some of the best in the business. Alex Martin and John Wesleyan have expert guidance in helping you navigate the many nuances of training, including periodization, endurance, strength and conditioning, riding technique, on-the-bike structure, nutrition, and more. Visit trolltraining.com. There's multiple packages you can look into, different schedules you can get involved with. I went out on my mountain bike ride today. Troll Training's been helping me stay in shape and look as good as I do, which isn't great, but it's definitely better than it was. Troll Training top 5 this week. Top 5 ways to die. That is a TJ Smith topic.
Of course.
I need to come up one for next week, but real quick, give me a second here. I got go ahead. Give me your Scotty.
I can do mine. Whatever.
Oh, you ready? Go ahead.
TJ.
Well, so
Because there's somebody sitting in a top 5, and
That's
I wanted
fine.
to find it.
well, to me, I'm going to preference all this stuff.
Oh God.
Quite well.
We've got a
Preface. It's
preface.
preface.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
preface would be the correct word.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said preference.
I don't have a preference on how you say that sentence. Go
I
ahead.
appreciate it.
All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Anyways, the last thing we're ever going to do on this earth, no matter what you believe, no matter if you believe that there's a God or that we're living on the back of turtles and it's turtles all the way down, no
That's
matter.
a theory?
Oh my God. Anyways,
Poop yourself?
no matter what we're going to do, we're going to die.
Oh,
It's the last thing we get to experience in this world.
okay.
And there's certain things that you can't experience without dying. You know what I mean? So,
All right.
so like anyways, so I kind of have a really strange list of how I want to, things I wouldn't mind dying from. Like one of my number 5 on my list, we go like 5 to 1.
Sure.
A steamroller, like rolling over you. Like,
that sounds brutal.
Wow. I
course.
definitely went the opposite direction.
no, but think about it. It's the last thing you're ever going to experience. And you cannot experience that without
hit by a
dying.
steamroller. Like,
I mean, I don't know.
see-
I don't know about that because, like, at the city where I worked, we had a pretty
sorry.
small steamroller.
But just
It
run you-
actually wasn't a steamroller. It was just a roller.
But I'm sorry, a steamroller like in the movies with the bad
Dude, if you
guys.
where they flatten you
Where
out
they
and
flatten
you
you out.
curve in the shape of the wheel.
Exactly.
dude, if you can't get out of the way of a steamroller, you
What I'm
you
saying.
should deserve to die by a steamroller.
Or like I was thinking about just because of the amount of things you would feel
Yeah.
from that. You know what I mean? Or like, but number 4 would be like a vat of acid. Where
dude,
you
you're psycho, bro.
no, but it's the last thing. Like but number 3 would be burn alive.
See, these are the worst. The worst ways
So
to die.
bad.
There's so much feeling.
Why would you want to feel that?
Why wouldn't you? It's the last thing you get to feel. Might as well.
You want to feel pain? Are you okay, dude? Do we
No.
we need to get WebMD
Well, okay.
to sponsor the show. and
Number
get you some help.
number 2 would be like some kind of like long-term cancer.
Bro, I went the complete.
I don't know if I even believe any of this,
Dude,
but
I
anyway,
went
it's
complete
entertaining.
opposite
No,
direction.
but I'm
as
serious.
this.
And then
Super entertaining. So
it's not about entertainment, but think
For me
about
it is.
It's the last thing on earth you ever get to feel. Like, why do you want it to be nothing? Why do you want to do it in your sleep? Why do you want to miss the last thing that could ever happen on earth for you?
Because I don't want to be miserable, but go ahead.
And then crucifixion. Because, I mean, like, nobody knows what that
sure we
feels
can
like
go.
anymore.
We can go find some stones in the backyard and line you up against the wall and just start stoning you.
He didn't have that on his list.
Well, I mean, Chris.
That would be work. I mean,
Take a while.
So I went.
You
Dude,
run
he
out,
went
like,
real dark with
We got to
this.
walk up there and get all those stones. Don't just stand still. We got to pick all the stones up and try again.
but people died that way.
Yeah, they just threw rocks at him. It's
I know.
nuts.
One of our listeners emailed Cameron and Rauschenberger. I hope I said that right. He gave a joke, basically. Peacefully in my sleep, like my grandfather, not screaming like the passenger in his car.
Damn.
I think I'd rather be the passenger.
Do you want to? Yeah. Do you want to go, Scotty?
Yeah. I went completely different.
Yeah.
Than, so, like I guess the one I put in fifth was like
I don't have them in order.
was like having sex. Like you're like having sex and your heart
I
just
don't
gives.
want to ruin one of the greatest things ever.
You just said you want to feel. I want to feel that when I want to be feeling that. My heart just gives out. Like that'd be one. Like dying like as like a heroic moment, like you jump out and like to save like a box of kittens from a fire or from a truck driving by or something. I don't know, something heroic. You save somebody's life or you do something.
I'm jumping out anywhere for kittens.
It was obviously a joke, but like something
maybe.
doing something heroic, like
Okay.
like
right.
saving somebody from a fire or something. I don't
Do
know.
you think that hold on? Do you think that would give your life meaning?
No,
Or your death
I just
meaning?
No.
Like it means nothing still.
He's such a terrible person.
Like, look, no, I look at it more as like I don't like my life has so little of meaning that if I could sacrifice myself to save someone else's life, that's how I would want to go out. It's more being selfless than being selfish. Something like you actually probably like this one, like something apocalyptic, like a crazy like giant wave comes over,
that'd be cool.
or like the earth just like separates and everybody's like holding on to trees and stuff, and
that's
like
a good one.
It's not
like,
bad.
yeah, I just think that we've watched way too many movies, but anyways, like something like that. I wouldn't mind going out riding, like just tanks on the side of a take of a jump, and that's it. Like I went out doing what I love.
Okay.
And then I guess the other one would be like was skydiving. Like you jump out of a plane and the chute doesn't go. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that.
I think I'd rather be thrown out of a plane knowing that the chute wasn't going to go. Like there's no chute. There's no chute.
You got two of mine.
Oh, I did.
And
okay.
I actually do have one that's sort of like yours, where I absolutely miserable experience. So I'm not going to do mine in order.
I guess I really didn't have them in
I
order
had
either.
sex and skydiving on mine.
Okay.
So we'll just knock those out. Spontaneous combustion.
You just blow up. We're sitting there watching the show. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. In my sleep, where I don't know.
Yeah.
And Veronica Amber was listening, so this one will make her laugh. At a country concert.
Oh yeah.
That's my terrible one.
That's not the way you want to die.
That's me. No, but that's my. Well, I mean, I would just rather die.
You'd want to like die like meeting somebody from Tool backstage or something, like, and just you just
No, I don't want to do
pass
that.
out.
Just like if I had to go to a country concert, I just want to die.
You would just want to die. Like
It's more of a joke because she's asked me if I'd go, and I'd be like, yeah, I'd go with you. I get, but anyway. So that's just a little bit of a joke there. But we need a top 5 for next week. Any thoughts?
I thought, what happened to my roller coasters or amusement parks?
All right, roller coasters it is. Maybe I wrote it down last week.
You did.
Top 5 roller coasters or amusement park rides for next week. MotoXpod@gmail.com to get your top 5 ways to die in, even though you should have done it already, or roller coaster amusement parks for next week. Evans Coolant email. What?
You're over here, you want people to email, and then you're over here critiquing them like, oh, you should have you should already sent those in.
Do it like you're supposed to. Evans, waterless coolant protects your engine because it always stays liquid. Steam inside the engine creates hot spots and detonation, but with Evans, the metal is always liquid cooled. Used by HRC Honda, Factory Beta USA, and Pro Factory Yamaha, and lots of other teams, regardless of sponsorships. Evans is in the bikes on the podium. Evans coolant emails.
Once again, our listeners are upset that you're not wearing the Yamaha jacket. I don't think you're ever going to see. I don't think you're ever going to see it again, guys.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
I want to get some of that Evans and test it.
Kyler Joyner. Okay, he said, I've been meaning to send this in for a while. This goes back to one of our favorite memorabilia topics a while back. that you might have moto memorabilia. He has a Randy Hawkins poster that was signed when he was a kid at an ISD qualifier in Idaho City. He sent some photos. That's pretty cool. Just letting us know. And then probably the coolest motorcycle ad I can remember, Wild West theme Yamaha ad for the 1990 YZ80, 125, 250, and 400, featuring McGrath, Wyndham, Dowd, and Henry. I do remember that ad. He's got that hanging up on his wall. Pretty cool stuff there from Kyle.
Steal that one from you.
Oh, the James Stewart one?
Oh, that's my favorite poster of all time.
Yeah, it's so cool. I remember that picture
That's
came out.
my favorite poster of all time.
Yeah.
Well, don't know what to tell you. It's mine. Let's see here. Phil Smeltzer said, damn it, give me a second. I'm trying to read this because it's, everyone is talking about Jet failing and screwing up. Remember, it's his rookie year.
I don't
think
look
people
at it
are
like
talking
that.
about it like that,
I do
though.
not
There
look
are
at it
people that are talking about him.
I'm sure there's trolls out
people
there.
Yeah, I
out
guess
there.
I'm missing that. Definitely not failure of a year. It's an amazing year.
Supercross is hard. The class has a lot of talented people, and he's had some unfortunate things just not go his way, and it's just it happens. A lot of the guys.
Score.
All right, well,
Go ahead. You can finish.
No, that's cool. I'm
Okay.
good.
I don't have to go to any country concerts. Amber says she doesn't want me to die, so she'll go alone. I'll go with you, babe.
All right, well, you stole the show, so go ahead, take it away.
Sorry, man.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think Jet's doing fine.
Yeah, he's
I don't think there's any. I don't think anybody thinks he's failing. Couple from some other listeners. What's the number one item on your bucket list? Do you have a bucket list item, whether it's a place to go, something to do?
It kind of just depends on like what mood I'm feeling. Like I have a lot of stuff. It's kind of funny. Like I feel like bucket list stuff happens after you do it. You're like, oh, I can knock that off the bucket list. I've done
That's
that.
a good
now.
way to look at it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I want to do.
Yeah, I couldn't I don't think I could rate them or say one's over. I mean,
Nothing just stands out. Like this is something I've always wanted to do.
I
It
definitely
doesn't
want
even have to be with racing. It's just in general.
I definitely want to put myself in a position where I want to see the world. Like I want to experience different cultures and see the
so
world.
I can show you a photo.
Is it flat?
I want to travel.
not
I want to go out of the country.
Those are mine.
Go
Anywhere specific. Like if you could go to one place.
Oh God, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to just one place.
All right.
Israel.
I want to. Is that one of your ways to die?
Yeah, go to,
Wow, that was loud. A loud laugh.
I got him. Got him.
Yeah, I put
me in, coach.
Visit Italy, which I've been to Italy for that gas thing, but I would like to go like check things out.
Yeah, like you can
Or
say
Australia.
going to a Italian hospital. You knock that off your bucket list.
I did knock that off my bucket list. Spend time in an Italian hospital. That was puncture some lungs or break some ribs. No puncture.
Yeah,
lungs.
I just want to see stuff like this. This past weekend, we went to San Antonio for my sister's birthday, and then on the way back, we took the long route to go to Enchanted Rock, which is like basically just like this giant boulder that has a state park around it, and you can climb up, and it's kind of basically a mountain. And like it doesn't seem like much. Like you're like, we climbed up there and we climbed back down, but just then the next day you think about the experience. Like, I have those mental images now. I saw.
That's cool.
I'm not a big like crazy take picture guy. Like I just like no, that's like that was for me. Like I'm gonna remember that later. So.
I just figure at any minute he's going to be like the guy from Office Space and be like 2 chicks at the same time.
On your bucket list. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Office.
Yeah,
What would you do? Yeah.
If you had $1 million.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. Does anybody
That's
ever
a
say
great
you have a
movie.
case of the Mondays? Like, no, man.
That's a
Jastic
great
for
movie.
that.
All right, we got to get to our next guest. Our next guest is brought to you by Blood Lubricants. Scotty, do you think all oil is the same?
No, it's not.
Well, it's not. It's a bit like food in that you can have all the same ingredients, but a great chef will make something that knocks your socks off. Blood Lubricants was developed from over 40 years of knowledge in the oil business and is used by racers in the most grueling motorsports on the planet, including Baja, NASCAR, Indy, NHRA, sprint cars, motocross, supercross, and many more. Blood Lubricants has a reputation for lasting longer than other brands and is known to keep your bike running up to 30 degrees cooler. Simply put, if you want the best oil you can buy in your machine, you want Blood Lubricants, BLUD. Visit bloodlubricants.com and check out their numerous lines, including their Pro Series, Barracuda, Scorpion Blood, and more. Use promo code VMX25 to save, capital VMX25 to save. Tonight, Blood Lubricants brings us from the Partzilla PRMX Kawasaki team, Mr. Mitchell Harrison. What's going on, Mitchell?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing good, man. You got some big shoes to live up to tonight, man. RJ and Haiden killed it.
Okay, I'll try my best there.
All right, man. How you feeling, dude? You looking good this season? You haven't made every main event, but you've been riding really well. And when you get in the main events, I feel like your results have been pretty damn good, maybe minus Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big step just going right on the 450, and it's a lot of, like, I need confidence, and I just didn't really have any. So, yeah, I made a few mains so far, I think 5 or so, and the goal for me was top 15, and a majority of them, and I've gotten a couple of that. And Seattle, I just went over the bars.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
How do you feel about that new point system now? You make a main event, you finish 22nd, no points. That's not cool, man.
It was a little, it bummed me out because it took me out of A practice the following week in St. Louis, which was the Triple Crown. So it's a lot tougher to get a fast lap time for the D practice, and I think that kind of screwed me a little bit. But not getting a point at all is kind of not cool.
No,
so,
no, definitely.
So I don't know why they would take it off. Like, just put it back. Like, I made the main, so just at least give me something.
I definitely think you deserve something. I mean, at least you got paid at least, but yeah, the points are big too, especially for the SMX rounds coming up. You mentioned being on a 450 and not being confident. Was that a fairly last minute decision to move to the 450 class? Because I feel like you were practicing in the off season on a 250.
Oh yeah. It was literally last minute. Aaron Tanti was supposed to race.
Yep.
And
right.
He got hurt like a month before, and he didn't know if he could really ride. He was just laying at heel. So I think it was the Tuesday before A1. He rode, and he really couldn't. So really, I just wanted to hop on it because I like 450s, and I rode it around, and the team kind of liked what they saw. So they're like, okay, let's go out to Lake Elsinore like Wednesday and see how you actually ride down Supercross. Rode it pretty well. And then, straight in A1.
That's good, dude. Nothing wrong with that. I think you've been riding really well. When I've been at the races and we don't get a lot of TV time with you when we're at home, but when we're at the race, I've watched you in some, the qualifying, and I feel like you've improved every week.
I feel like I've been improving every week. I feel better and more confident. Now I feel like I should be, near that 12th position, like battling with Benny more.
Mm-hmm.
That would be ideal for me right now. I mean, when you get into the top 10, that's a whole other story. That's a couple seconds. So I think like 12th, 15th through 12th is a great place for me, especially in this rookie season, and just building confidence every week.
Love it.
Yeah, Mitchell, it's a good point. We obviously the focus is on the battle for the podiums and top 5, and sometimes the top 10 guys, and that's a different level. But there's no reason to take anything away from the 10 to 20 guys. Like, dude, you guys are gnarly on a dirt bike, and what y'all are able to do, and what y'all put yourself through without the preparation and the facilities and the equipment that the pros guys have. So much respect for you. Just kind of talk about how gnarly it is what you guys are doing in that 10 to 20 range.
Yeah, I mean, like, at least speaking for myself, like, I work my butt off day in, day out, and I try my hardest to find these little areas I can improve, maybe get a couple tenths here and there, find those seconds. I mean, obviously I'm watching like Cooper, and I stay away from Jet a little bit. Obviously everybody wants to ride like him, but for me it's hard to see what he's doing. Like, I can't really understand it. Like, honestly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Compared to like Chase, like, I can understand what he's doing. Jet just does it, and it truly doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'll watch him. Like, they'll post, I think it was Seattle. Like, I watched his fast lap, and like, he did the rhythm. So I'm like, how? Like, he didn't do anything phenomenal for him to be that much faster.
Yeah.
So
I watched him during his qualifying, and they followed him during the lap, and I'm like, oh, that was a nice lap. And then all of a sudden he hops to the top of the board off of what looked like he was just cruising around.
Yeah, he just does these little. I think it's obviously it's a lot of momentum, but it just, for me, it's tough to follow. But I don't know. I work really hard. I log everything. We log our laps every day. I try to find these little momentum spots, and you know, like, I mean, it's a 3.5 second gap to 4 seconds a lap to be P1. So really, I'm just looking for like the top 10. What that seems a lot more realistic for me. Finding like 2 seconds, like it really isn't that hard, but it is. So that's just it. Especially in this 450 class, how hard it is to find that, and then how like close everybody is so tough. But I mean, we work our butts off, especially the PRMX teams. I mean, they try everything they can do to get the bike better, and they really like take my input and do little things here and there. But I mean, ultimately, I think right now it's just me just getting better and better, and trying to find those little gaps.
You had said that getting on the 450 was like a last minute deal. Do you find the 450 like things happen a lot quicker? Like I know you took a handlebar to the chin, you know, those kind of things. Like, did things get out of hand quicker with the 450?
Well, immediately, A1, I realized that you need to be way more over the front of the bike, because that thing was getting out of my hands fast, and it really, honestly, it makes Supercross easier. Like, it makes it more fun to ride, and these death-defying obstacles aren't too death-defying anymore. Like, my San Diego crash it wasn't like a brain fart. It was just more, I thought that was the speed I needed to hit it. And maybe the 250 played a lot of role to that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm flying through the air and I'm thinking this is not good. So so it's a lot of power. And now I feel like I really have it under control. But I mean, even after San Diego, I think I almost did it again in Houston in the heat race. And like, I would overshoot a lot of stuff, to be honest. So this weekend I did it, which was a step in the right direction.
Good to hear. You talked about the program a little bit and how hard Julian and the team works to give you guys anything they can give you or get you what you need. We have a Vital MX forum question from one of our forum members, Spoon Guy. He wants to know, what is the biggest difference between your program and a factory rider's program? And that obviously could mean bike, what you can do during the week training wise, but like, what really stands out that you just don't have access to?
Really just, they have so much in their inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that Cowie can 3D print anything, and they just have so much resources. I mean, my bike is phenomenal. I really like it. I don't really think if I were to get like Jason's or Adam's bike, I would do much better. I definitely think it'd be a little bit more comfortable, but I don't know if like it could be much better than our bike right now.
Well, then, yeah, that's got to give you all that confidence that you were talking about in the beginning that you didn't have. You got to be building that, and that's good to hear, man. To have that much confidence in a team as a privateer, and it is a struggle, right? I mean, even like making a triple crown as a privateer is so difficult because you got to get it in through qualifying instead of racing your way in the night show. The struggles of a privateer are real, and it sounds like you're very confident in what your team's giving you. So maybe that's not as bad as I would think it would be.
It's definitely not as bad. Not this team, at least. I mean, there's other privateer teams that, you know, might struggle a lot more. As long as they're testing and they're open with the riders and they tell you this is what we can give you, and it should be a great team, especially if you have good vibes with everybody, which our team does. But yeah, I remember in the beginning of the season on the 250, we were like every day I was testing and I loved it. And then I got into the 450 and I really had to learn it. And then once I learned it some more, then we started really testing more things, testing little parts for the front end. We got 10 Bennett, TCD out of the track, and we got the suspension more dialed. And right now I really, really like the bike. We're just fine tuning little things here and there. Every weekend I go like a click different. So where it's at right now is I think a solid motorcycle.
Good.
Hey, we have a listener question from Sportin' Wood. He said he wants to know who on the team do you enjoy training with the most, or not on the team?
Well, on the team is me and Hunter Yoder are really good golfing buddies, really good friends. He's actually my next door neighbor at FOB, and we spend the most time with each other training. So I would say on the team, he's definitely the best training partner. Off the team, Tyler Medaglia up in on my Canada team.
Yeah, T-Dags.
Yeah, he's gnarly. He will basically beat me in everything, including dirt bikes. He can't beat me in golf, so I got him on that.
That's good.
But yeah, he's an animal. So he was a great training partner, and yeah, he was a really good guy to be around.
I love T-Dags.
What's the golf game looking like these days?
Well, since Seattle, I did something to my chest. I still play, but I don't have the distance I do right now. I think it's about like 15 yards off. Like last 3 rounds, it was a 81, 81, and 84.
That's good.
Yeah, it just the ball striking's not really there, but I did learn something with this hurt chest. So that's a positive. Like it's just like this little twisting motion, because when I was over twisting with the hurt chest, I would like top it, but if I got it correctly in like the slot, then we're tearing every shot. So I did learn something with a hurt chest, so I'm pumped on that.
There you go. Yeah, we had Jordan Smith on the show a couple weeks ago, and he I know he's like a big golfer, like he's really good, and I think he's like a 2 or 3 handicap is what he said, and he said he was confident that he could take anybody on, and that's in the field, the motocross field. So you might have to give him a run for his money one day.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people come up to me and ask who do you think's the best, and I know Jordan's really good. I would love to play against him. We talked a while ago, just back and forth. He said I had a great swing, and I asked him, what's your handicap and like what's your best score? And like we both at that time had like the same handicap, and we both have not shot under par yet. I don't. Maybe he has since, but when I talked to him then, we both didn't shoot under par. So I think we're pretty close.
Oh, nice.
Well, I know who I need to get on the Vital MX golf tournament team next time we do that for
for
the Dis Nations fundraiser.
Yeah.
Either Jordan or Mitchell or both.
Yeah.
Well,
Stack the field.
I could shoot under par all the time on the Oculus.
Yeah.
Benny Bloss had an Oculus, and he was playing that every day. And then we go out to the golf course. He was like, "Oh my God, the golf club is so heavy." I was like, "Yeah."
Is there a living room big enough to hold Benny playing using virtual reality? Like he's gonna knock something over.
No, there's definitely pots being broken, TVs or something. Luckily, he doesn't have a club in his hand.
Yeah. Mitchell Harrison's brought to you by Blood Lubricants tonight. I got another privateer question, and I'm wondering, at your level, when there's moments where you're like, I could send it or I could play it safe, how much does that play into, at your point in your career, like getting hurt is almost, like really hurt is almost not an option. You know, the factory riders, they're still got paychecks coming in, and I don't know what your contract situation is, but it's probably not the same as Eli Tomac's. Do you have to ever think about that kind of stuff?
No.
Okay.
I think it's definitely the wrong way to look at it at any point. Like I'm going to go out there and give it 100% anyway. So if I were to I feel like it'd be worse if I were to slow down.
Yes.
So just be on point every single time. And I've always had people ask me that, you afraid you're gonna hurt, or maybe you shouldn't do this because it's dangerous. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Just if I get hurt, I get hurt. Who cares? At least I'm giving it 100%.
That's it, man. Like, yeah, as long as you know you're giving it your all and improving, then I think, yeah, that you can sleep well at night.
That's all that's about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how do we? Obviously, we have a cool opportunity in our sport now where you guys that fight for those last positions in the main have an opportunity with the LCQ race to for the fans to support you guys and give you an opportunity to win some money. How are we feeling about the new format and the opportunity that you get to go do this?
Yeah, I think the pulp race is really cool. Like definitely appreciative of them for doing that. Like quite honestly, I don't want to be in there, but if I'm going to be in there, well, might as well take advantage of it. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it's phenomenal what they're doing, and I can't wait to go race it. I heard it's an inverted start and a regular start, so it's definitely interesting on how that will be. But I think it'll be just a bunch of fun. Hopefully, I can hopefully I can win, and take home some cash.
Awesome. I got a couple more questions for you, then a couple forum questions, and we'll let you go. But I want to ask you about the incident with Barcia this week, and if it's nice that Cade keeps getting blamed for it.
Yeah, Cade. He said he was like, "Why is everybody like? Do they not know who that is? Like it's not me. Stop shitting on me. Like I find that funny. There was one guy like Cade's such an idiot. Like he has no situational awareness, and like we're like, buddy, it's not even Cade.
Right.
It's me. Like maybe look at actually who it is instead of just being a keyboard warrior.
Well, even some media places like MXA got it wrong, and they said it. Yeah, they posted it up and said it was really? Cade. Yes. So it's not just keyboard warriors; it's media.
Yeah. No, Cade said he's been tagged in a bunch of things that were me. Yeah,
that's good for you. That's good for you. It's somebody else taking the heat.
That's great.
Yeah. No, actually, I got quite a bit of followers from that, so I was pretty happy.
All right.
But the incident was dumb. Justin was on the right, I was on the left, and going up the finish, I obviously had like the main line, and it looked like he backed off. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm going to go in the rut. And then all of a sudden I see him go wide open to the outside, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm still in the line. And then I take him out. And so then we go down to staging for the next practice. And I'm talking to Benny. And then Benny looks over at Barcia. He's like, oh, cool. I'm going to stir the pot. Hey, Justin, come over here. So he's like, yeah, what do you think about last practice? And I'm like, dude, I thought you slowed down. He's like, dude, I thought you slowed down. So that's why I went for it. I'm like, nope. So that was my line. So, no, we both laughed about it. But, yeah, I liked how everybody was like, yep, he's dead. So I'm like,
no, I think Barcia, at the very least, usually will take responsibility, and when it he can give it and he can take it. So you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, no, I like Justin a lot. I mean, I've ridden his track. He's a great guy, but he's definitely competitive. So, I mean, he's Bam Bam for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's wrap this thing up with a couple forum questions from our guys. Spoon Guy also wants to know what's something you would choose or need to make a jump in competitiveness. Is there anything, again, it could be training or anything that you don't have access to you would like to have?
A lot of wisdom from a lot of good riders.
Okay.
I think is the main thing. Like I said, I don't really think it's the bike holding me back. I think it's just maybe confidence and just riding ability, just being better, truly. So yeah, if I could just get a lot of good guys in a room to maybe train me each day, then that'd be nice.
Okay, that's a good answer. 9bro9 asks, how do you like 450 class versus 250? You've kind of touched on that. Let's jump to the last one. This is from This is his username. I need a new username. Not bad. I like that.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah, he says, will you go back to Europe to the GPs? Is that something you'd like to do?
I would love to go back to Europe. Really liked my time there. I was also in a very beautiful place with Bud Racing down in Source Ossior. But I like the GPs. I really like the atmosphere. I don't think it's a secret that I like the outdoors a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just such a cool experience to go travel the world and race your dirt bike.
I love it, dude. I love it. You're living the dream, man. You're doing great. Rookie 450 season, I think it's coming along. Looking forward to seeing you progress, and I appreciate you jumping on here and giving us some time tonight.
Yeah, no, thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. We'll see you this week, or I'll see you this weekend in Nashville, and look forward to coming by and saying hi.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mitchell, have a good night, buddy.
You as well.
All right. That's Mitchell Harrison, brought to you tonight by Blood Lubricants. Really a bunch of great guests tonight. Fun show. What do you guys think?
You did good, kid.
Did good, kid. So you just saw the press release for Aaron Plessinger. Do you still have it on your phone?
I can get right back to
it. In case people haven't seen it, let's throw that out.
So from KTM, one of our listeners in the group chat posted it up, so I can't take complete credit for it. But elbow fracture forces Aaron Plessinger out for the 24 AMA Supercross remainder of the season. It doesn't sound like he needs surgery or anything, but he's out. Yeah,
I had texted him earlier today just to check on him, and I did not get an answer until literally a couple minutes after you sent that, or he showed me that. And, he just said, all good, man. Thank you. It sucks, but got to move forward and see how fast I can heal myself.
Hopefully he'll be back for outdoors.
It really sucks. You're missing Nashville again. He goes, I know, Nashville is just not ready for me. There's always next year. Thanks, brother.
That's what an up and down season.
What a bummer, man.
And it wasn't just
I feel like you got to take this as an upper overall season, though. Even with the injury, the win. Fantastic.
I'm just saying, he went up to holding the red plate for 2 rounds.
I know.
But it was like a gradual fall off, and then this,
Where was I hadn't checked on the lower part of the points. Like, where was he at going into that race? Fourth or he had to been fourth or fifth. He had to have been up in there.
Going into
into
this
weekend
Nashville.
into Fox, because he didn't race Foxborough, so obviously he's going to be down now.
Going into Foxborough,
it'd be hard to find it.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, you just go back to last week and show. Yeah, but I have this week's somewhere.
I'll look it up. You go ahead.
Okay. Well, so I can't listen to you. So he has right now. He's 7th.
So
with 198 points to Jets 261.
So
80, 70 something points.
Yeah, he was probably somewhere else. He was probably closer before that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're gonna jump into the ProX highs and lows. ProX is rooted in racing from motocross to off-road and supporting teams such as Ampro Yamaha, Pro Circuit Kawasaki, and SLR Honda. They have been supplying quality components for almost 50 years, from complex jobs like an engine rebuild to simple maintenance, including filters, chains, and sprockets. ProX aims to bridge the gap between OE quality and affordability. So find ProX at your local dealer or visit prox-usa.com and search for parts for your bike. I was on there just yesterday looking for some stuff. Highs and lows. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. My highs were that now the points are tied. 2 red plates going into, we got 4 rounds. 4 rounds left?
Yep.
Yeah, two red plates, 4 rounds left. That's exciting. I've thought that the couple of rounds ago, I thought the season was kind of over, and now it's totally on, and I'm excited for that. And lows would be that since my bike has been repaired, this was the first weekend I didn't ride, so that's going to be my low.
I guess my high was I finally hit that triple out of the corner at Steve's house. That was
6 feet under. Yep,
at 6 feet under. Yeah,
you didn't go 6 feet under.
I did it out of the corner too, which is pretty good for me. And then
is that the one after the doubles?
Yeah, after the rhythm section. Yeah. And then I don't have a low. It's been a pretty
good
lows.
Week. Okay, good.
I didn't make any money.
That's pretty low.
Yeah, that's a low.
I will. I got some stuff to build, but I haven't actually.
Did Doc ever give you your payback money?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You might want to find that out, bro.
Yeah. Well, my hose.
Yeah. Oh, you can't
say that anymore.
My highs are Cooper Webb results, the points being tied. I got to ride at 6 feet under also, and that's the best I've rode in a while. It's the best I've rode on the Yamaha.
You just like that. That track just suits you, I think.
Dude, honestly, a lot of times I get a little bored at that track, and I don't ride well there. But I'm just starting to ride more, so I just feel like I'm getting my confidence back.
Yeah.
So that's really great. And then the biggest high is that, Amber will be here Thursday morning in Texas, and we're driving to Nashville together. So we're going to spend about 6 days together. It's
So
awesome.
she's driving for she's flying
into
then y'all got a road trip together. Road trip.
She could have went to obviously flown into Nashville, but I was like, let me pick you up, and we'll have all that time together. So
He's saying,
yeah, that's pretty much how I
We're
said
going to
it.
really find out what this relationship has. You're going to be road tripping there, working, dealing all that kind of stuff, and then tired road tripping back.
Yeah, what's the longest amount of time in one setting that y'all have spent together?
3 days.
But
without any breaks.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't. Well, yeah, Monday.
Like you didn't go back to the Kiefers.
No, when I flew to California, I got there Friday, I guess.
It's
We were Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's a 9-hour drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, she'll probably sleep the whole way there because she's doing like a red eye basically.
That's probably
she's
good.
not going to sleep at all.
That's probably good for your relationship.
We don't want her to get to know the real me.
No, not yet.
Yeah, she's no idea. So yeah, those are my highs. My lows, Seth Hamaker and his crash. He's okay, but that sucked. Aaron Plessinger, my lows. Prado winning again. Like I'd like the 450, the MXGP class to be a little tighter.
Oh, so your low is Prado winning?
I don't want him to win every single round. I want Geyser to win. I want Hurlings to be better.
Prado's going to hate him whenever
he might.
Prado comes back.
And then vice versa on MX2, Kaito Wolf crashing and not winning every race. So those are my lows. But yeah,
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you accept compliments from Amber?
I think so.
That's weird.
I don't know. That's really weird.
Random.
I mean,
because you said you told us he was going to be on the show, and I was like, dude, like good lineup, good job, and you were like, yeah, like you get like, it's just like you can't. It's like
I don't feel like that's not. I don't know. It's not like I don't know why that's a compliment. Like I just text people and if they say yes or no.
Would they say yes to me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Would they say yes to him?
No, they would be who is this guy?
Like, this is the guy that keeps wanting to know how old I am.
Yeah.
So, I guess I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I said good job.
Thank you, Scotty.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Thank you. But I'm like, I don't feel like that's a good job. I just feel like I sent a text. That's not work.
See, that's what I'm saying. You won't accept a compliment. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't thought of it. So I don't know if she's still listening.
If she's like, you drive really well. You're gonna be like, oh, it's the truck. These roads are easy. It's nothing. Yeah.
I do that a lot. Yeah. Not with just her though. Like anything, I think. Yeah. Whatever.
I think you suck.
Let people love you, man.
And I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's an interesting question. You should save that for next week.
No, it wouldn't have made sense next week. It was referable at this point.
Referable?
Referable?
Yep. I
Like,
said it.
is it referable for?
It's referenceable.
Do I get like a $100 gift certificate for referring?
If I was wrong, then what was right? Relevant. Okay. Yeah, that's probably the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Over the past 39 years, EVS Sports has established itself as a leader in innovation and technology when it comes to designing protection gear for today's motocross riders. Athletes like RJ Hampshire, Kyle Chisholm, Freddie Noren, Axel Hodges, another low. Chiz is hurt.
Oh, no, I didn't.
He hurt his ankle. I don't know if he's going to ride. His ankle looks pretty jacked. And Travis Pastrana all wear EVS when they race, ride, or whatever Travis decides to do that day. So check out evs-sports.com and use the code VITALMX30, all caps, to save and gear up like the pros. Do not forget the new Axis Web Eclipse knee braces are out by EVS. I have not had a chance to try them, but I hear they're pretty dang good. I would like to try some, but if you're looking for knee braces, their older ones were really good, but I know they want to push.
I got my hands on the new ones.
Yeah.
Doc got a couple pairs of them, and they're really well built.
All right.
Really well built.
And also, if you just want knee guards, like if you're not a knee brace guy, the TP 199 and the Slayco 96 knee guards are really good. I love their technical undergear. It's basically, probably shouldn't say this, but like the Under Armour type shirts, the moisture wicking shirts that you wear when you work out, and their underwear, their riding shorts.
Oh, not the padded stuff, the actual.
Well, they have padded
But
ones,
what you're talking about is just the undershirt.
They have like an undershirt that I wear when I work out that I really like, and then I take the padded shorts. I just take the pads out, and I basically wear them like boxers.
Yeah.
I like those. I like that material. It's really good stuff. But EVS picks for Nashville showdown. Amber did just respond. Let's see here. You don't accept compliments. Laugh out loud. Just as I'm not good at taking them either. So she's not good at it either.
Okay, there you go. What?
Yeah, we both kind of go. Yeah, whatever. Well,
yeah, I'm trying. We're trying, Amber. It was a work in progress.
Okay, picks for Nashville for the showdown. I'll go first on this one. I'm going to go Levi with a win. RJ Hampshire second. Cameron McAdoo third. I feel like Hayden's going to run out there, but something's going to happen.
Yeah. Can I do what I want to happen versus what I think will happen?
No.
Sure.
No.
Okay, well then you go ahead.
Says
TJ.
no. Where'd my ink pen go?
Go ahead.
You just write down the ones that I'll say my picks, but what I would like to see happen.
What are we doing first?
No, you got to pick it. This is your pick.
Okay, this is my pick.
Yep.
Okay,
Let's go.
And you got to pick.
Kitchen,
Okay.
McAdoo,
Okay.
Hampshire.
Okay.
What I would like to see happen is Haiden, Hampshire, and Vial to tighten up the points.
Okay.
I think VL wins.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it might be a mutter, so that's a good point.
I don't think it's going to be that muddy.
I don't think it'd be that muddy, but I think
Is it
there's
supposed to
gonna be,
rain all day?
there's so much
46% chance on Friday, but they'll have it covered. I think
Okay.
there's probably a good chance with that forecast that more than likely press won't happen. It'll probably just stay covered.
I think
Anyway,
VL
go ahead,
wins. I think Deegs gets second, and probably Kitchen third.
It did happen again. I was like, all right, I'm tired of not picking Jet and him winning, so I picked Jet and they didn't freaking win. I think that's who I had last week. Yeah.
Let's go back and look real quick. Take a second.
One of our listeners,
last
Dog
week,
Lover, said Kitchens,
Cooper Webb.
Deeg.
Pick Cooper Webb to win.
Oh, okay. All right, right on.
You kept Cooper Webb, Eli, and Jet.
Yeah.
You got the winner.
So Dog Lover says Kitchen, Deegs, Hampshire, McAdoo, and VL.
Okay.
Give me
Yeah,
again.
that's
Faith.
a good.
Okay.
That's
It
a good
says
pick.
Kitch, Deegs, Hampshire, Sakadoo, and VL.
Whackers.
All right, Faith. I got you.
No,
wrote
that
down.
was Dog Lovers.
That's Faith.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, she's cool. All right, we got yours down. So she sent in a bunch of the questions this week. We've asked from the forum, and then she sends emails all the time. She's a big time fan of the sport. Really cool. Got the chance to meet her a while back. All right. Anything else, guys, before we wrap this thing up?
Faith also says seeing 0% chance of rain right now. So
Oh, good.
that's good.
Okay, I looked earlier today, so that's good. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully it's
Yeah. Move on out.
Yeah. All right. I want to thank Haiden Deegan, RJ Hampshire, Mitchell Harrison. I want to thank both of you losers for coming in. I would like to thank our sponsors, our presenting sponsors, Racetech and Yamaha Motor USA. Also, Guts Racing, FXR, X-Brand, ProX, EVS Protection, Troll Training, Evans Coolant, Blood Lubricants, Barnett Clutches.
Great products.
You know, a couple of those work really well together. If you want to go get you the best oil on the planet, Blood Lubricants, save a little bit of money with that promo code.
And make your clutches last so much
You
longer.
will also make your Barnett clutches last longer. You can use those promo codes, save you some money. I'm telling you guys, if you freaking just try the Blood Lubricants, you'll be willing to spend extra money.
I'm clearing my throat because
You need some. I know.
Yeah.
I haven't got an answer back yet, but
I'm about to.
Or you
but
can just do like me and
I'm gonna.
buy it.
Well, I think I didn't want to admit this, but I couldn't remember what because we have so many different codes. I couldn't remember which our code was for blood. So I was.
you could have just asked, but you didn't want to admit it. So I hear
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, I will ask Jeff if he'll send a little bit because I'm getting low too. Maybe we can do a couple giveaways.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But I kind of like what I tried
It's-
before is like go buy some, show me your receipt, and then maybe like we'll give a prize away or something. 'Cause
Yeah.
I want these guys to try it. I want
Dude,
them to get
it's-
involved. The big thing is if you don't support our sponsors, we may not keep our sponsors.
Yeah. So blood's awesome
Then I
though.
don't get
Like
paid.
you can
Yeah, then you don't get
you
paid.
can
but
legitimately notice a difference, and like that doesn't happen with oil. So
it's awesome. It lasts a long time. It's great. But that's the show. We will be back next week. I've reached out to Chase Sexton about next week. No answers yet. We'll be back. Amber will be here. We're out.